Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Good morning. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless. And we think Shannon Sharpe. Morning, guys.
So, Jenny, how are you?
I'm good.
So, Jenny,
Yeah.
I have a long history doing this show. I've been doing it for 15 years on 2 different networks. And in my history, what I've found is when my opponent has no ammunition, no winning argument, he has to attempt to distract the audience with showy clothes or props. And it looks like my opponent today has both on.
I ain't bothering nobody.
Showy clothes and props.
I'm over here.
You like that?
I'm over here celebrating my best life with old Shay Sharpe.
Yeah, I see.
And why you bothering me?
I'm not bothering you. You're bothering me.
You told me, you say, you got some of those flashy stuff like LeBron had on yesterday. I said, yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm going to wear it tomorrow. Got me a little, little something right there. Get a shot there right there. But that's some good old stuff right there. Yeah.
A little early, Skip, if you ask me.
So,
a little early for that.
Thing you have what is that, your bathrobe?
What is this?
You're wearing your bathrobe on television. What have we come to on the show?
Get a little something, Y'all start that thing out there.
Wait, you're drinking Hennessy to get ready for Undisputed. You're smoking something. I don't know what's in that. I don't know. It could have a lot of different things.
Hey, Jay, this old wood tip right here. You trying to get that thing right.
Are those the ones Snoop left in your dressing room? I think he did.
Stop dry snitching. You lost everything.
We've lost all credibility. I don't get it.
No, we lost credibility because you be telling. We supposed to keep that between you and I.
Well, you're showing the world.
Like the old people say, we got to keep that betwixt us. How you doing today, Skip?
Well, I don't know yet. We're about to find out.
We are going to have to see because Shannon apparently is ready. On today's show, will Skip throw up the X for Dez in New Orleans? Will Shannon finally admit Team Tebow is a good baseball player? But we are going to start with LeBron because, I mean, how can we not? His Lakers got back on the winning track last night. 114-110 over the Wolves. LeBron scored a team-high 24 points, was 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, and Josh Hart each had at least 20 points. Derrick Rose had a career-high 7 threes, but he missed a shot with under 5 seconds left that would have given Minnesota the lead. The Lakers have now allowed at least 110 points in every game this season, but LeBron still praised the defense after the game. Let's take a listen.
We defended the whole fourth quarter. They made some shots. I mean, if we get any closer on some of those threes, we foul them. And we did one time. We gave up a 4-point play to Jimmy, but we defended. This is the most we've defended in 48 minutes, close to 48 minutes all year, and we did it versus a very good team.
Okay, Shannon, how impressive were your Lakers last night?
Well, they have to be happy with the win, but I'm not overly impressed because, again, they gave up 110 points. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, Skip, that's not a three-point shooting team. Now, there are some teams that get up threes. Golden State, the Rockets, teams that can take threes, make threes. You give up, normally, you give up 20 made threes. How many times you think you're going to actually win a game, Skip? Not very many. Now, LeBron, I'm going to have to disagree with you. In the first half, you played no defense because you gave up 67 points.
Thank you.
I don't know if you can equate that to defense.
Did I hear 48 minutes? Did you just say that's
no.
the best we played for 48 minutes?
For 24 minutes
okay,
you played.
I'll give you that.
The second half, LeBron is absolutely right. There were some contested threes that they made. Skip, in 2 of the last 4 games, Derrick Rose has played better than he played in his MVP season. That 50-point game.
I don't know if I go that far, but he played MVP quality. I'll give you that.
No, he's never had games like 7 made.
He hadn't shot the 3 like that in his career. He's 29%.
For a career, and he's shooting 46%. And then coming off that 50-point performance.
Sure.
But I was very impressed with some things I was impressed with. Not the defense, but Josh Hart, Skip, they needed everything that he gave him. Those 21 minutes, they needed all that.
Huge.
I told you, old Tyson Chandler, you say, well, he don't get that many rebounds. I say, for what they need him to do, old Tyson, he still got a few miles on them legs.
I hope he didn't use them all up in one night because it's got potential.
But here's the thing. I'm concerned with what happens when he's not in front of the home crowd of L.A. Being an L.A. kid, being homegrown, and they pulled him through. JaVale McGee is still playing unbelievable ball. LeBron was spectacular in the fourth quarter, although I did not like those last 2 shots that he took. you can get something better than 30-foot three-pointer, Skip. I do believe LeBron James can get a better shot, 2 better shots than that. Maybe he, heat check, he wanted to see where he was because he had it going pretty good. But no, you can't take that. And she was right there. She got caught in traffic, Jenny. She was on her way to the game, Skip. You know it. But that 405 traffic and trying to weave her way, she waited until the last minute because, she had to get her hair done, her nails done. Miss Triple Dub was supposed to show up.
Really?
Almost.
No,
yeah.
Jack Nicholson took her seat at courtside. Or maybe Denzel did.
Denzel too?
No, actually, she sits at the scorer's table. Yeah! That's what she sit at. Because she's special. But look, D-Rose, there's nothing you can do. I mean, when he's hitting shots like that, Skip. But LeBron, I disagree with you. You didn't play defense in the first half. That's why you gave up 67. You clamped down, gave up 43 in the second half. But, they shot 50% from three, 45% from the floor.
I believe that was a franchise record 3.
Yes! And you talk about
Probably not saying a lot for the T-Wolves, but go ahead.
But here's the thing, and you thought you played, and they make a team record 23s, and you thought you played very good defense. But it's something they can build on, Skip. They needed that. They needed that win. I mean, you can't be, you got to dig some traction. You got to get going here now. I mean, they costing me my cases. But you know what? Looking at the way that the landscape is shaping out, Skip, it might be the Golden State Warriors with 65, 70 wins, and the number 2 seed might have 53, 52 wins. It might be that big a discrepancy in the West between 1 and 2, considering the way teams are playing. Now, they might all turn it around to Utah, the Houston, Lakers, or some of the teams that we thought were going to be good, Pelicans, Portland. But right now, 50 wins might get you the 3rd seed.
So, you finished?
Yeah.
You got some of that right. Now, I'm impressed that you actually got some of that right. I'm impressed only because they got the dub. That's the only impressive thing that happened last night. But first things first or last. Let's go to Derrick Rose's last attempt, if we could, please. Tyson Chandler, as hard as he played on defense, he fouls Derrick Rose on the last 3-point attempt as the T-Wolves are down 2. He just hacked him right across the hand just a split second after the ball had left said hand.
I'm glad that wasn't Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, because they getting that call.
They're going to get it. And I thought it was very interesting that Derrick stepped right up after the game and said, they aren't going to give me that call, meaning he has lost his superstar privilege in this league over the last, 4 awful years, injury-plagued years, the times off that he took, and finally, I think he lost his credibility and his superstar card with the referee. So he's just saying, I'm not going to get that call. Could he have made all 3 at that point to win the game? I'd probably bet against all 3. Could he make 2 of 3 to send it to overtime? Yes, he could have. Remember, he did miss one fateful free throw down the stretch of the NCAA championship game, which opened the door for Mario Chalmers, and Kansas won that game.
He was 2 for 2 last night, Skip, so he might have.
I don't know. Maybe he would have made all 3. Now, back to the points that you tiptoed around.
What?
LeBron James, 46.2 seconds are left in the game, and they are up 1 point, and this is the king in his new house. And these are the Timberwolves. This is not Golden State. This is not Houston as Houston starts to turn back into Houston. You just have to close this deal. And thank you for saying, why would you pull up and take that long of a 3-point shot? Is it because, once again, you're a little gun shy about going to the late game free throw line? Probably it is. Just attack, because they're going to have to foul you or you're going to get to the basket. You know what, Shannon Sharpe? I'll even take LeBron. Just take Wiggins into the lane, because I like LeBron and trust him more shooting his fadeaway. Take that 10-foot fadeaway, because you're pretty good at that.
He did do Wiggins once.
He did?
Got him, bumped him into the lane. And
that's his shot now.
Yes.
That's the one I would trust. I would give that about a 70% make chance. This one, again, from 3 so far this year, he's 28.8%. And he had made a couple shortly before this. So is it a heat check, or is it just saying, I'm going to take the highest degree of difficulty shot so the pressure will be off me, so nobody can say, well, you should have closed it, and I can say, well, I took a really hard shot. That was a tough shot to make. Well, yeah, it's a really tough shot because you shouldn't have taken it in the first place.
Correct.
So Tyson Chandler saves the day with a back tap. And all of a sudden, you got the ball again, and then Kuzma got fouled, and he made 1 free throw.
And they could have called Tyson Chandler for a foul on that one.
They probably could have. So then LeBron comes down with 15.2 left. It's still, I think it's a 2-point game at that point. No, he'd missed a 3. So it's still a 1-point game.
Right.
And LeBron does it again. He just pulls up and takes another bomb 3, and he LeBricks it. And I'm saying, just tack.
Right.
Just get to the free throw line, get in the lane, make something happen. Or if you want to, if you need to get in the lane, I know the clock's starting to wind down at that point, find a 3-point shooter. Because I got to tell you, the more I watch Josh Hart and Kyle Kuzma, they are without conscience, man.
Oh, yeah.
They're just going to green light shoot it with all kinds of confidence, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And the beauty of them playing with LeBron is they feel like they are completely empowered playing with the king. What happened to Jordan Clarkson and Rodney Hood in Cleveland last year? They did.
Yeah,
they were afraid to shoot. They second-guessed every 3 that they took down the stretch last year for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They were no-shows. They did not help the king 1 ounce when he was really needing some 3-point shots made.
Right.
They couldn't stand up to the pressure. And I know there's no real early season pressure, but still, it's LeBron James, it's Staples Center, and these 2 kids are just saying, thank you, we got this.
Even what you call him, Skip, I mean, Brandon Ingram put the ball up 14
He did.
times. McGee got 10 shots up.
I don't see anybody look hesitant at all. I don't see tentative from anybody.
Well, first of all, Kyle Kuzma has never met a shot he didn't like. He loves all shots.
But it's not like that changed once LeBron stepped on the floor.
No. Josh Hart was unbelievable. He's turned into a great catch-and-shoot 3-point shooter.
Cold-blooded, man.
But you know what, Skip? I think is that getting Tyson Chandler, it gave them somebody to bang with Karl Anthony Towns. Now, I'm glad last night Towns decided to count his money because he got a boatload of it this offseason. Yeah. Skip, there is no way Karl Anthony Towns should have that few points and that few rebounds after what he did a week ago.
I got to tell you, this is a troubled basketball team revolving around Jimmy Butler and Karl Anthony Towns.
They got to let him.
When Jimmy plays, Karl Anthony is basically saying, I don't want to play.
Right.
I'm out.
Yes.
His body language is saying,
Look at him when Jimmy doesn't play. He's dominating on both ends. You look at him when Jimmy plays. Now, now one outlier, last week, Jimmy played. He was 28 and 16, I think, Skip.
Yep.
But Karl Anthony Towns too good. 13 and 6, 13 and 7 against JaVale McGee and Tyson Chandler.
I know, but Jokic and these other big centers are just saying, "Give me." We saw what Ibaka did the other night. Give me the ball. Give me the ball against JaVale.
Yes.
And that's what Luke was saying. So Luke said down the stretch, "I'm not going to play JaVale, even though he leads the league in blocks.
Right.
He will not on-ball defend.
Right.
He will not defend in the post.
Right.
So he put Tyson in there, and Tyson was defending.
We're going to talk about the elephant in the room again last night.
Lonzo got 0 in the fourth quarter, 0 minutes. Is that the elephant?
Yeah.
0.
Sat
him the whole fourth quarter and played Rondo most of the fourth quarter.
And he only played 21 minutes. Skip, there's a few things that's going to have to happen for Lonzo. Skip, he's going to have to drive the ball more, and he's going to have to develop a mid-range game because now basically he's a 3-point shooter. Even Steph Curry, as great as he is, will put the ball on the floor and try to get to the lane. Klay Thompson, if you keep hugging up on him, he'll put the ball on the floor and get to the lane.
Okay, I agree with all of the above, but I also agree with what we heard LeVar say. It was the other day, but we talked about it on the show yesterday. He's basically saying, my son is not a sub. He doesn't have subs mentality. And Lonzo, his confidence is just shaky enough. If you start to yank him quickly, his confidence just crumbles. So last night, I saw his confidence crumble. Like he has been stepping into his shot. Last night, he quit stepping into it because he knew if he missed a couple, Rondo was going to be on the floor. And Rondo stayed on the floor most of the fourth quarter.
What Luke Walton is saying, I'm going with the hot, other than LeBron and maybe Kuzma and Ingram, I'm going with the hot hand down the stretch. If you look, Skip, Lance Stevenson played like, Luke looked at Lance and said, you know what? You on that bull job tonight. Come on over here and sit with me. I ain't going to even give you a chance to monk this up. Because he already saw, Skip, you know, when Lance get the ball, he dart. He going to almost lose it. He going to get it back. He going to dart again, Jenny. Then he going to get it back. He going to go between his legs, and he going to throw something wild.
Lance got a grand total of 4 minutes last night, and he was 0 for 3 in 4 minutes.
And Luke say, nah, I'm not going to let you do this. Come on. Hey, get Lance jacket. He coming over here to join you.
Okay. So wait a second. Rondo plays almost the whole fourth. He just missed a few seconds.
Yes.
He played almost 12 minutes, and he went 0 for 2. But he did have those two. They were kind of back-tappy rebounds too.
Yeah.
But that's all he did. He didn't have much. He didn't contribute. He had no assists.
Yeah, but
Oh, I'm
Skip,
sorry. He did. No, he did have none. He had no assists.
in the fourth.
Yeah.
Skip, I mean, Rondo, he would drive the ball to the paint. At least he's trying. I mean, he laid it up a couple of times. He banged it hard off the. But Skip, he had in that little bit of time, he had 10 assists and 6 rebounds. I don't know how Lonzo, you got to be aggressive. At some point in time, say, you know what? I'm going to the paint. I'm going to the bucket. I ain't selling for a 3. Skip, they're gonna give him that. I know he's shooting 40% now, 41%. They're going to give him that. He's going to have to turn it down and say, you know what, I'm going to the paint. I'm trying to make you guys
Okay, but
foul.
if you step back from their overall stats last night, Rondo goes 1 for 7 from the field.
Yeah.
Lonzo is only 1 for 6 from the field and played only 21 minutes. And in those 21 minutes, he still managed to have 5 rebounds and 6 assists, right? That's pretty good for 21 because Rondo ended up playing 27 minutes and he did have 10 assists. But
if you look at it, in those 21 minutes, what was the plus minus for Lonzo? He had, he led in minus. That's not a good sign, Skip.
well, it's not a good sign when you're getting yanked. When you're the number 2 pick in the draft and your confidence is wavering and then crumbling. That's what's happening.
Luke Walton said, I'm trying to win. Skip. Magic Johnson put that pressure on Luke. Luke's turning around and put that pressure on Rondo.
Yep.
Rondo, when you in there, Lonzo, when you're in the game, you better show me something.
LeVar Ball's going to be on Magic's doorstep pretty soon saying either play him or trade him.
Okay.
Get him up out of here. Send him to somewhere.
And Magic said, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Okay. Then enjoy Rajon Rondo as your point guard for the next 4 years.
Yep. You know how superior athletes, business people think. When you give them an ultimatum, they're always going to choose else. Do this or else.
Maybe.
They'll always choose else.
Unless they're smart enough to choose keep.
Nah. I mean, they got something brewing.
Yeah.
I mean, he ain't gonna trade him right. The trade deadline's coming up. We might have a package going on. Yeah.
We might. Yep.
Yep.
Interesting. So, to your original point, I'm going to laud and applaud the Los Angeles Lakers on how they played defense in the second half last night.
Yes.
That was highly impressive. They locked up, locked down, locked in. I don't know if Luke Walton read the riot act at halftime, because when you give up 67 in the first half, and I immediately tweeted at halftime, that was embarrassing.
Almost had me a case. Because I say the Lakers were going to get 65 to 70. And you ain't want to do it.
I didn't bet on that.
I know you did.
So you didn't almost have a case because there was no bet.
I was trying to get, you know what's
Okay. But then what happened in the second half? They allow 67 in the first and hold them to 43 in the second, hold them to 21 points in the third quarter and 22 in the fourth. That's highly impressive.
Because now Luke Walton can say, guys, see, when you want to play defense, when you lock in,
we saw
this is what.
flash.
Now, the likelihood of them holding someone to 86 points, Skip, for a game, that's not going to happen. That might be an outlier. You might get 180, 190 points.
Especially when they're hitting a franchise record.
Yeah.
threes.
When you hit that many threes and you only get 43 points in the second half, and considering Jimmy Butler was unconscious. I mean, they were pushing him back further and further, and he was still hitting them.
So was
D. Rose,
Unconscious.
still hitting them.
Yep.
Everybody, I mean, all of a sudden, when did Taj Gibson, in his first 7 seasons, Taj Gibson made 1 3, Skip. Last night he made 3. So now all of a sudden, Taj Gibson is hitting threes. You're not supposed.
And they scored a grand total of 43 in the second half.
The Lakers had, with that being said, the way Derrick Rose was shooting the ball, Jimmy Butler and Taj making threes, the Lakers had no business winning that game, Skip. And you give up a team record 23s. You're not supposed to win that game.
By the way, the Lakers hit 15 of 34
Yes.
threes. 15.
They're getting better.
And remember, you backed off your prediction before the season started because you said they can't shoot.
No.
Right?
Old Josh Hart.
15 threes?
Yeah.
Well, that's 44% right there. Is that an outlier for them?
Yeah.
That's what it took to cancel out the 23.
But Skip, so with that being said, that's 5 more threes. That's plus 15 that you gave up. And somehow you find a way to win by 4?
You did. So back to, as you call her, Miss Trip Dub. Is that what you call it? So I said this before the year. I'm going to stand by it.
What you gonna
LeBron James. Go ahead.
We don't stat chase, Skip.
Okay.
You notice that?
LeBron James should be averaging a triple-double. For
How?
this team of cast-offs and kids, he just should be. He's at 27, 8, and 8. He leads the team in rebounding, as he should. He's 6'9", 260. He leads the team in assists, as he should. He's still the best passer in basketball, and he's averaging 28 points a game. Was it 27? 27 points a game. Well, it should be 32 a game.
No, stop it, Skip. Stop trying to put that pressure on the man.
On this team, it just should be. And the shock to me so far is LeBron has plunged all the way to 11th in the league in usage rate. So, again, he was 4th last year because he's usually top 5-ish.
Yeah.
And now he's 11th. So he's trying to
play off the ball more.
He's trying to send this new message. I'm over here. I'm a wing player. I'm a post-up player. I'm an elbow player, right?
Because if you look last night, Skip, there are a lot of times in the fourth quarter, Brandon Ingram was bringing the ball up. Brandon Ingram was initiating the offense, and he was shooting the shot. Kyle Kuzma was shooting the shot. So LeBron, that was all a part of the master plan of LeBron and Luke. And remember, Luke told you, we know what 2-3 can do. Mm-hmm. What we're trying to do is who else is going to be the Robin? Who's going to be the guy that says, you know what, when they send 2 at LeBron, who can we trust to put the ball in his hand and go make a play for us?
This team will be at its best when LeBron James dribbles the ball up the floor and initiates the offense. And either he takes it or makes sure somebody else gets a nice, clean, open shot. He needs to be the Russell Westbrook of the Lakers. That's when they will be at their best, when this happens. Maybe he's trying to save himself. Maybe he doesn't
Save himself for what?
Save himself for the stretch run.
Bron had him a good old time last night.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, it looks like you had a good old time this morning.
Hold on.
The show.
Jenny was at the game. I was at home, by the fireplace.
I left pretty early. I tried.
I was by the fireplace.
I was right between Will Ferrell and Denzel, just like right in the middle.
Did you talk to Denzel?
No. Are you kidding? I'm joking. I was not that close.
Oh, you weren't that close.
I wish.
Skip, you know what?
So why do you and LeBron, you smoke cigars now? I don't get it. I thought you were getting in shape. I thought LeBron was an NBA player.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What you mean getting in shape? We already in shape.
Oh.
Unlike somebody else I know, we're going to talk about him in the next segment that, they wanted to shed a few pounds. We ain't gonna talk about just yet. But Jenny was at the game last night, Skip.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Were you there? Were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay, well, don't parse and say, well, I was there for a little bit. Were you at the game? Yes, you were at the game. Me, I was at home. Me and my boy sitting on the couch. Had some of this right here.
Did you?
Yep.
Wow.
Watching the game, watching
Seems
LeBron.
like you're having a whole lot of that.
Had me a good old time.
Like,
yeah.
Do we need an intervention?
Are we? Yeah. Should we be worried about you?
No, not it.
A lot of fun this week.
Look here. I got a big old bottle. I got a big bottle.
We see.
Here.
Have you just down those in one gulp sometimes?
No. Don't take it to the head. No. What you trying to do, Skip?
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just curious.
I'm a social. Get around a couple of the guys. We tell stories, reminisce about Broncos, the Ravens, and college. I ain't no guy to get by myself and just like chug.
Sounds like you were last night.
No, I was sipping.
Oh.
I had one of your wood tips on, fire going, some nice music listening. Because I don't listen to the sound. So I was just playing.
Okay. Well, you're going to have a busy weekend then because Lakers back-to-back.
They're
at Sacramento, then they're home against the Hawks. So get
we're
ready for a
going to
weekend.
Dub.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Triple dub. Can I
I
get a
told
case?
you the schedule gets easy right now.
Can we get Can we get a case of dew for a dub?
No.
Come on, Skip.
You're down 13 already. It's okay.
Not right now. Not right now.
I'm not down yet. Hold on.
It will be Saturday.
Michigan can go on a losing
They
streak.
could.
Okay, guys.
We'll see.
Dez Bryant, he's got a new home. Is he going to help the Saints?
Uh-oh.
And one Eagles player said something yesterday that I don't think Skip's going to
No.
like very much. Let's hear what he has to say next.
No mercy.
Well, finally, Dez Bryant has a new home, and it's in New Orleans. Dez agreed to a one-year deal with the Saints yesterday after working out for them a day earlier. He joins a Saints team that has won 7 straight and has the second-best scoring offense in the NFL. But no Saints wide receiver, other than Michael Thomas, has more than 12 catches this season. Let's take a listen to Drew Brees on his team's new addition.
Dez has been a really good player in this league for a long time, and there is certainly a skill set that he has that is going to be beneficial, and so I look forward to getting to work with him. I look forward to building a rapport with him. I look forward to getting him involved in this offense and just become a complement to, all the guys that we already have. I think he'll see that too when he gets here, and I'm sure he's been watching from afar as just how he'll integrate into this offense, and I think he'll be a great addition.
Okay, Shannon, how much better does Dez make New Orleans?
I look at it, I equate it to what, Skip, when you remember last year when the Steelers cut James Harrison and the Patriots picked him up, and we had a very similar question.
Yep.
I said, if he makes one play that gets them home field, he makes one play that helps them advance.
That's a good point. Yep.
It's a great signing.
Yep.
They're not bringing Dez Bryant on to catch 5-6 passes a game, have 6-7 touchdowns in a 7-game. That's not what he's there for. Joining this team, he's the third option at best. Michael Thomas, Kamara. He might be fourth behind Traquan Smith.
He might be.
So with that being said, how much he just has to make a play. Remember big play, Shay? Just one play, get one play a game. If he can get him one play, then now all of a sudden they're home for the entirety of the playoffs. He makes one play that helps them advance. Great signing. Great signing. So for me, how much does he help? I don't know. I thought he looked heavy in the video.
Yep.
It's reported that they asked him to lose another 5 pounds, which means they want him to lose around 10 to 12 pounds, Skip. But can he help? And I guess one of the receivers just went on IR. So basically, they need him more now than probably they ever had because they're going to be down to 3 receivers. So not only do they need the body, they needed someone that's played in big games before and has stepped up and made plays.
Yep.
So how much, if they get home field, he makes a play that helps them get home field, he makes a play that helps them advance, great signing.
Okay. I accept that, and I agree with that. First of all, before I say what I'm going to say, from my heart, I am happy for Dez Bryant because I believe he was in danger of being done. I believe he was in danger of being kept permanently on his couch by the NFL. And it was going to be a sad end to what used to be a great story in Dallas because we both agreed there was that stretch, 12, 13, and 14. I thought he was the best receiver in football.
Yeah.
And I'm not being a hypocrite, but I used to throw up the X.
Yeah.
Because he deserved it. He earned it. He was the X. He was the spirit of the Dallas Cowboys offense with Tony Romo as a quarterback.
Right.
Obviously, I thought he just ruined ruined Dak last year because he was pretty much ruined as a receiver. I thought he's a broken down shell of himself, and he led the league in drop balls last year. So, as a Cowboy fan, I'll take Amari Cooper right now any day or any night over Dez Bryant. I'm happy to go forward with Amari Cooper.
Okay.
I do not fear Dez Bryant on November 29th at Jerry World. It's a Thursday night game, and it's going to be a spectacle.
He said it's personal.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'm glad he's saying that because he's going to come in overamped, just spilling over with bad blood, trying to get even with Jerry Jones and the Cowboys and all those Cowboy fans who attack me on Twitter. You know how he's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be out of his mind. And I'm going to put the over-under on Dez drops that night at 3, and I'll probably take the over on that.
Now, you remember, Skip, there was maybe it was Hard Knocks or something, the Cowboys, and Dez went to every one of their DBs. You can't guard me. You can't guard me. You can't guard me. You can't guard me. Now, a lot of those guys that he said that couldn't guard him might be still on that roster. So he feels very comfortable like, oh, you couldn't guard me when you knew exactly what I was doing because, Skip, after you played with a guy, being on the same team for a number of years, they know tendencies. They know plays. So now I'm in a different system. If you couldn't guard me when you knew what I was going to do, you can't guard me now. I believe Dez will be on his best behavior. But here's the thing, Skip. Drew Brees lives in a world that you don't complete 70%, 76% of your passes by throwing the ball up and hoping someone comes down with it. You throw the ball knowing that guy's going to be where he's supposed to be. So that's what's going to be asked of Dez. Now, I don't know how many times that he's run precision routes because he loved Tony Romo because Tony Romo would throw it up and says, I believe more in Dez than the guy that's going against him will come down with this ball.
That is
and
true.
He gave him opportunities. Well, they didn't coach Dak like that, Skip. Dak. They didn't coach him like that. They said, look, we're good enough. If he's open, throw it. But none of this 50-50 stuff. And it worked. That's why you saw 4 interceptions his rookie year. But once Tony Romo went away, wasn't coming back, well, given we still believe in Dez. And you see his interceptions started to creep up because he was giving Dez opportunities that Dez Dez shouldn't have been afforded at that juncture of his career.
Correct. So as a Cowboy fan, I'm still hanging on as a Cowboy fan, barely. On November 29th at Jerry World, I'm going to fear Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, but I'm not going to fear Dez Bryant.
You know they're going to give him opportunities. You know that.
You know Sean Payton will give him
Exactly.
opportunities. And that brings me to my point. I still think this was a good move for Sean Payton. He is a showman. He likes star power. He likes box office. He likes mystique. He likes presence. He likes reputation. On reputation alone, I think Dez Bryant was a good signing for a team that somehow got to 7-1 without him, but he could be a little bit of icing on top of that cake that's just about baking here. It's just about baked. And if nothing else, if at worst case he's just a famous decoy for them, then I think it's a good signing for them, because I still cannot get through my head how Michael Thomas is second in this league in receptions when there's been no secondary receiver except for Kamara coming out of the backfield and occasionally lining up in the slot.
I think that goes to show you just how creative, and Drew Brees mentions that, how imaginative this offense is.
Well, for that one guy it is. I don't know how they do that.
But you know what they do, Skip? If you look at the guys that catch a lot of passes, they can line up anywhere. They line him up in the slot. They put him on the left. They put him on the right. They put him in motion. They do a lot of things. You can't. They're only Marvin Harrison, because basically Marvin just used to line up on the right, and Peyton said caught 143 passes, basically lined up in one position.
He did.
But now the guys, you look at the Julios, the ABs, the guys that catch a lot of passes, the Adam Thielens, they move them around.
Okay.
Because Skip, if you just line up in one place, okay. I can take you away if you just line up on the right or you just line up in the slot exclusively.
Okay. So did Wade Phillips, who you know very well, last week, did he go into that game saying, let's just let Michael Thomas have his and we'll just shut down the rest of them and we'll win the football game? Because Michael Thomas got his.
He went, but then they let Kamara get 3 touchdowns and then let Ben Watson get off. But see, that's the brilliance of Coach Belichick. Coach Belichick goes into the game and says, we're going to take Devontae Adams away.
Always. And he just says, you can't have that. That's the one thing I love about Belichick. You can't have that.
He's not going to let you beat him with his
And Bill Belichick
best.
against this team, he would take away Michael Thomas.
But
if
guess
it took 3 defenders to take him away.
But then what happened? Jimmy Graham started getting going a little bit. They said, now we're going to take Jimmy away. And then Scantlin, he got going and said, now we're going to take him away. To be able to do that on the fly, because a lot of times, Skip, you go into a game, we're going to take a guy away. We practice it. Okay, we're going to play combo coverage here. We're going to play bracket there. We're going to lock it over here. But this is how we're going to get to it. In the game, you draw it up on the blackboard. You have to have guys that are smart enough to say, okay, let's go. So, and Dan's got to learn new terminology, Skip. Now, the routes are going to be the same. When I went to Baltimore, I had heard 2-jet flanker drive and Y bingo pick. Now the routes mean something different. A short cross in Denver is a wall route in Baltimore. A 7 or a corner route in Denver is called Chevy in Baltimore. So now, Skip, how do I get that? Now remember,
that's you. This is Dez.
I had OTAs.
Big difference.
I had OTAs. I had minicamp.
They're going to have to simplify this like crazy. They're going to have to give him 2 or 3 simple routes that he can digest quickly.
Give it to him like they gave Josh Gordon. Now you see they expanded. They tagged the first couple of games. They tagged it. Josh, this run a comeback. Josh, run a slant. Josh, run an end cut. As he started to get more familiar with the verbiage and the terminology, now we can expand. You see his role expand. You see his production expand.
Trust me on this. Josh Gordon has a much higher football IQ than Dez does. He just does. And I'm not trying to insult Dez. I just know the two, and I know a lot about him. Josh Gordon has high football IQ. He has high off the field.
Well, you got to play in that offense. And I think in Sean Payton's offense is very similar. You're going to have to be smart. Because when there's a lot of verbiage and and you have to learn multiple positions. That's the thing, Skip, because Mike forced us to learn multiple positions, because what happens if someone gets hurt? Now, there's a backup, but he would feel more comfortable putting Rod at the X and maybe bringing somebody, instead of bringing someone that plays that position behind Ed, put Rod there and then let somebody play Rod's position. Or move me over there.
I got it. So this is the one coach in the National Football League who is a watch this coach. Like, watch what I can do when nobody else wanted to even try this. Watch how I can recreate Dez Bryant. I can reinvent him. I can rejuvenate him. That's what they will try to do on the fly with simple game plans just for Dez.
Yes.
And hope that he could catch that one or two balls that could make a difference. Will he make a big difference? My takeaway from all, my bottom line to this is, I don't think he'll make them that much better, but he will not make them any worse. That's.
I tell you what, this coach also is. He ain't about that BS.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, that's,
if you think you're going to stomp your feet because you didn't get a pass, or you're going to get upset because Drew Brees missed you, and you're going to come to the sidelines, you do that once.
and you'll be right back on your couch.
Right, because there's no harm in this, Skip. His money's not guaranteed. So basically, he get paid weekly. You show up, you got a job.
Yep.
You don't show up, you don't have a job.
Well,
so it's as simple as that.
He's in a great spot. He's blessed,
Great.
man, because he could go along for a great ride here.
I don't want people to get upset. See, Dez could have done that in Dallas.
Nope.
No, he couldn't, because Sean Payton ain't calling plays in Dallas, and Drew Brees isn't the quarterback.
That is correct.
So, no, he can't.
Nothing to lose. Whether he is a weapon or a decoy, I guess we'll have to see. Do you think he'll talk less? Do you think he'll be off social media? He knows he's being
That's a good
watched?
question.
I don't know about off social media, but I know he won't have those antics, those histrionics
Yep.
that we're used to seeing on the sideline, those outbursts. Nah, I feel very comfortable to say we won't see them.
Okay.
No mercy.
Well, another athlete that we are hearing plenty from is Eagles offensive lineman Jason Kelce, who didn't hold back after the Super Bowl when he called the Patriots a, quote, fear-based organization. Now his target is the Cowboys, who Philly will face on Sunday. Kelce called out the Cowboys and their fans yesterday. Let's take a listen.
Everything's heightened. I would say mostly I just don't think that a lot of players, in particular me, just don't really like the franchise or the organization, what it stands for, what it's always stood for. Just never really appreciated what the organization and what its fans really stood for, you know.
Nice.
A lot of fair weather people from across the country that just kind of fell in love because they're winners instead of having any type of emotional connection to the team whatsoever.
Whew, I can't wait to hear what Skip has to say, but I want to go with Shannon first. You can think about this one. What do you make of Kelce's comments?
What's the point? Okay, we know this is a division opponent. We know there's no love lost between the Eagles and the Cowboys. But let me tell you what this is about, Skip. This is about, for the longest time, the Eagles have been known for two things. They're known for the team that's in the NFC East that had no Super Bowls. They were the little brothers. They were the doormat. And their fans booed Santa.
Yep.
That's what the Eagles were known for. Everyone else in that division had three or more Super Bowls. And people still talk about those teams in higher regards than the Eagles, although the Eagles are the last team to win a Super Bowl from that division. Okay, fine. You don't like the team, Skip? Hey, having an intense rival, I played with the Steelers and I played in Denver. Played with the Ravens and we hated the Steelers. Played in Denver, we hated the Raiders and we hated the Chiefs. We knew we had Raider week. But Skip, I didn't every week. I didn't every time we play them have to, man, I hate the Raiders. Oh, they fans are fans. I don't care nothing about the fans. I don't even care if they show up. Forget them fans. Everybody fans. Not going to say everybody. And some fans are more unruly or obnoxious than others. Cowboy fans, Patriots fans, Packers fans, Steelers fans. Patriots more so since 2001, because I remember the time the Patriots, and you remember that too, they weren't very good, and there were only like 10 fans in the stands. But normally when your team wins, Skip, the fans get used to winning, and they, y'all terrible, blah, 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 blah. Like the Packers, Title Town, the Steelers, 6 Super Bowls, the Cowboys, 5 Super Bowls. So, I don't know what these millennials are talking about. They hadn't won in a very long time, Skip. I don't even know why you own them. You should have been left ship. But anyway, Skip, I don't get that. Why are they still talking about? I don't get Jason Kelce. I don't get Jason Peters. Okay, they're the Cowboys. And yes, they're America's team, and I don't know how you get to be America's team, but it happened. In the 60s when they got to coin the term, maybe it was in the 70s.
It wasn't until 79.
Yeah, because in the 60s they were terrible. You know that.
Well, for a little while.
No, all the 60s. They were terrible.
They were not
They were
terrible.
terrible.
They got an NFL championship game.
Once.
Okay.
But anyway, they lost. Told Coach last year, I know they not in the 70s, Skip. They had a little powerhouse. But it all ended on the catch. Once the catch happened, they went down the hill in the 80s.
Correct.
And then the
82.
90s, they rolling again. But what I don't understand, Skip, Jason Kelce never said anything about this in 2014. He didn't say the Cowboys were terrible and all this and all that. He didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing like this in 2016. Now they're facing a little hardship. Now he come out, Eagles, boy, we hard, no, we blue collar, everybody blue. Stop it. You get an opportunity on Sunday to put your hatred on display and go ahead and smash them, which I expect you to do. But enough of this talking.
Everything Jason Kelce said yesterday embodies, just enhances why I despise everything about the Philadelphia Eagles, and I have my entire life, because I have despised this franchise since I became a Cowboy fan in 1961. And just to be clear about this, within this division, the New York Giants, I respect, because they've always been about class and character, and there's never been a big incident between Cowboys and Giants. It's a very respectful rivalry. I do not like the arch-rival Washington Redskins, but I don't hate them.
Right.
I don't disrespect them.
Okay.
I have nothing but sometimes fear and respect to the Washington Redskins. I have no respect for the Philadelphia Eagles, because to your point, the Philadelphia Eagles have been a long-time doormat of this division and a laughingstock of this division. And every time they get on a little bit of a roll, they're a bunch of front-running chest beaters who get too full of themselves too quickly and fall right on their faces. There is no way Jason Kelce would have spoken out yesterday if my team hadn't fallen on its face on Monday Night Football.
You're probably right.
That was the biggest egg under the circumstance my team has ever laid in my long history of rooting and trying to support my team. I told you I came in here Monday. I'm done, man. I'm out. That was the turning point of the 2018 season. And Jason Kelce knows this, so he's front running, and he's trying to stomp on what looks like their grave right now. And again, even his points are wrong-headed, because the first point is he's actually talking about this franchise, this organization that he hated because it's what they always stood for. It goes back to the lockout. We're going back to 1987 when the Dallas Cowboys were run by the great Texas E. Schramm. Tex Schramm, do you remember him?
I do.
Because most players in that era thought Tex Schramm was actually the behind-the-curtains commissioner of the league.
Right.
That he ran the league. And I covered him, and he did run the league.
Right.
So again, did he break the union, the players' union in 19... Yeah, because all the Cowboys walked the picket line.
And the greats.
Tony Dorsett, Too Tall Jones, Randy White, Danny White, they just walked the picket line. And again, they played on a Monday night game that was televised. It was on Monday Night Football against Joe Gibbs, who actually beat them with replacement players at Texas Stadium. That was a low point for me as a Cowboy fan. But the point is, he's trying to lump that organization into the Jerry organization. Jerry Jones is the opposite of Tex Schramm. Jerry Jones, I know Mark Cuban owns the Dallas Mavericks, but the ultimate Dallas Maverick is Jerry Jones. He is anti-establishment. He is against the grain. He is anti-league. He's everything that Jason Kelce should love about having that fighting spirit against the league, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
So, and then he talks about a lot of fair weather people from across the country just kind of fell in love because they're winners. The Cowboys, my team hasn't won a Super Bowl or been to Super Bowl in 23 years. So he's talking about a lot of old people, right?
Yes.
And again, I meet, when we take the show on the road, I meet a lot of younger people like in their 20s who wearing Cowboys jerseys, like in Cleveland maybe.
Right.
And I say, well, what is it? Like LeBron, right?
Yes.
He's a product of this.
Correct.
And I always say, what happened? What inspired this? And I just love the jersey. I saw when I was a little kid. I saw it. Loved the color on television.
What about the guy at the security that we walk past every day, Derek? He's from New York.
Loves them.
And I was like, hold on, bro. How you jump over the Giants, jump over the Jets, past the Falcons and the Saints and all these teams in between to land in Dallas?
That had a lot to do with the 90s, I think. 92, 93, 94, 95.
But he ain't that young.
No, he's not that young. But I think that's what won.
Yeah,
him over.
but see, that goes to Kelce's point. See, when they were winning, everybody want to jump on the bandwagon.
This is new now. This is a whole different era. And again, it has a lot to do with the uniforms, but you can't tell me that people still hang on to the Cowboys because they're winners, because they really haven't been winners. So I don't know where he's going with that. And yet, trust me, when you talk about unruly fans, There's only one place, and I went to a bunch of games at what used to be called the Veteran Stadium
Oh, yeah,
in Philadelphia.
terrible field.
And it was a terrible field and a terrible bunch of fans because they not only booed Santa Claus, they booed Michael Irvin when he had a career-ending injury, a back injury, and he's lying prone on the field, and they are cheering that injury, right?
There's no love lost between the Eagles because Buddy put the bounty out on the kicker.
He did. And in my days of covering the Cowboys back to, let's do the 90s, 80s, the people who ran the Cowboy tours would always tell if they took a group of people to Philadelphia, as long as they were going to Washington or New York, no problem. Any other place, no problem. But when Philadelphia, they had one rule. You cannot wear Cowboy paraphernalia into those stands because them is fighting words.
Yep. Wow.
Somebody's going to want to fight you because they're going to get drunk, they're going to get crazy.
And if they're losing,
you better be careful.
It has something it's because of you had that Cowboy jersey on, and they're going to want to fight. But jeez.
Look, I don't want to stereotype all the Philly fans because I'm sure there's some great ones and some classy ones, but to me, as a group, they are the least classy fans in the National Football League. And Jason Kelce represents them, so congratulations on that.
Well, I mean, look, Skip, the Eagles are on the perch. They're the Super Bowl champs. The Cowboys are right now on some lean time. They've fallen. They lost the last 2 ball games. And so, they're easy picking. That's low-hanging fruit. So that's all just Jason Kelce. But okay now, you got to play this game on Sunday. You doing all this bumping them gums. You got to play on Sunday.
They all bump their gums.
So we going to see. I'm going to be watching it, too. We got a case on that. We got a case on that.
We got no case.
Whoa. Time out.
You want Dallas? Yeah, I'll give you Dallas.
No, you don't better get your team, remember? Because I tried to get a bet.
I do now.
He does now. He said that yesterday.
No.
He's off.
I wrote off 2018.
No.
Do you want them?
No.
You can have them.
Why would I want them?
Well, I don't know.
I would like for them to go on a nice little win streak. Because see, if they lose their next 2 or 3 games, we know they're out of the playoffs. See, I want to get that momentum built back up because there's nothing like when you like something's going to happen and then, man, and then President with Rev came in that thing and he sat down on his couch and like, Skip, if they win like 3 or 4 games, you will come in here.
Shannon
How
Sharpe,
about them Cowboys?
I already decreed on Tuesday morning they are out of the playoffs.
They might win 4
over
straight.
and out.
They win 4 straight. They right back in this thing.
At Philly, at Atlanta, Washington, New Orleans, Philadelphia, and they're going to win those games?
Hold on, wait a minute. They got the guy that had the 3rd best and the 4th best QBR the last 2-3 years.
Got rid of the jersey.
No, he got the white one. He still got the white one.
I still got the white one.
Exactly. That's the most prestigious one.
We'll see if it comes.
Yeah, I know.
We'll see.
You think you're slick.
Will Patrick Mahomes run away with the MVP award? That's someone who's winning. We'll discuss that next.
Patrick, my homeboy. Got it.
No mercy.
It is never too early to talk NFL MVP. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is a big favorite to win the award. Mahomes is leading the league in touchdown passes and passing yards. Drew Brees has led the Saints to 7 straight wins, and he has the 2nd best odds, followed by Todd Gurley and his league-leading 16 touchdowns. And Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are tied with the 4th best odds. Shannon, should Mahomes be the MVP favorite right now?
Duh. Not only should he be the favorite, he's going to win. Like I told you, he would, Skip Bayless.
Oh, boy, that's going so far out on a limb. I'm impressed.
Don't do that.
That's the gutsiest call you've ever made in the history of Undisputed.
Skip, why would you do that? Why would you take a shot at me and Patrick, my homeboy?
You're homeboy.
Yeah, we homies now.
No one has ever jumped on bandwagons faster than Shannon Sharpe. No. You are a leaper.
Starting to learn that. Starting to learn
Okay, let me ask you this. What is there not to like? Okay, he threw for his first game, he threw for like 256. Off game, Jen, he just had 4 tubs.
Okay.
But ever since then, 300 plus. So,
how many games have we played so far?
We've played 9.
Oh.
Well, obviously, Skip, if the man were to get injured, all bets are off. Which, stop trying to put bad mouth on somebody.
What is the history of Andy Reid football teams? What seems to happen? I don't know why. Maybe because they're a little soft. They get beat up. They get intimidated a little bit. People figure them out, and they fade. They fade.
No. Oh. That's what happens when he had. Has he ever had a quarterback like this?
don't know. I'm not sure how good this one is yet.
All I know
I
is
haven't
that.
seen enough.
All I know is when he was in Philly, he went to 5 straight NFC Championship games.
Yeah. Are we saying Patrick Mahomes is better than Donovan McNabb? Because I don't know that yet.
In year 2, he's way better.
Well,
he's
it's really
better.
year 1 as a starting quarterback.
Okay, so it's not even close then, right? Now this is
I don't know about that. I love Donovan McNabb. I respect those first 5 years.
You didn't love him his first year because he ain't no Skip. We haven't seen this. We haven't seen this, Skip. Only Dan started the second year where he went 5,048. Skip,
he had Clayton and Duper. Yeah. Look what this kid has.
Yeah.
You ever seen better weapons? A better array of weapons?
Those same. Guess what? Yeah, you know what I was thinking? I was like, he has Travis Kelce and he has Tyreek Hill. He has Kareem Hunt. The same cast that check down Alex Smith had.
Sammy Watkins was not there.
In 15 games last year, Alex Smith has 3 fewer touchdowns than what this kid has right now. So I don't really know. Let's see. Drew Brees has had an unbelievable season, Skip. All-time leader in passing yards. He's on pace to break the completion percentage again this year, 76%.
You know what? You're just like mentioning that and going on like
because you know what? Because at the end of the day, I understand. You got to win. Check. Both guys are winning, right?
True.
But it's still a stat award. He has 11 more touchdowns and 565 more yards than Drew Brees.
I don't know, but Drew Brees is 18-1.
Hold on, Skip.
Is that pretty great?
Hold on, Skip. He's got 12 more touchdowns and 407 more yards than your guy, who you gonna throw into the equation.
How do you know?
Because
Have
I know
I spoken
you.
yet?
No, but I know you.
Do you have like intel?
Yes.
Have you bugged my dressing room or what is happening?
I know you. I know every chance you get. Or Tom Brady. Tom Brady beat this guy. Tom Brady's stats aren't like this.
Wait, did Tom Brady beat that guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
that is true.
Does that count? Wait, that was a preseason.
Hold on.
No, wait, it was a real game.
How many games has Tom Brady lost?
2.
Oh,
that's terrible.
And my homeboy.
Yeah.
My homeboy, how many games he lost?
Who do you think's going to the Super Bowl to represent the AFC?
No. It's a regular season award.
Yeah, but we're only halfway through the regular season.
You want to put some
you're
on
just
it?
No.
Why you? Hold on.
I'm up 13 cases. Why would I just give one away?
Let me get 3 back.
Yeah, because this is a front runners award, and people just get blinded because in this day and age we live in, this social media, internet age, people just rush each other to the finish line. They race each other to try to say, he's the MVP. And it's always premature.
Is he not? Is he not?
I'd give it to him right now, barely, just because of what he's done. But Drew Brees is sensational this year. This is probably his best year ever, and he's had a bunch of good ones, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 18-1. And by the way, not that I'm going to hang my helmet on this one right now, but in QBR, he just surpassed young Patrick Mahomes. He's just a touch above him in QBR. Okay, well that's got to count for something.
And the thing is, Skip, the reason why it's going to be hard to beat him is because his defense. So he's going to be in shootouts, and he's going to throw 3-4 touchdowns, and he's going to be somewhere around that magic number of 300. So he's going to be 5,050. 50 touchdowns, 5,000 passing yards.
He's already thrown 7 interceptions.
The same.
Is that good?
The same number as Tom Brady with 12 more touchdowns.
Which team do you like better? I think I'll take the
No,
Patriots.
see, Skip, now you're trying to parse it and come down with which team you like better. At the end of the day, when you're dealing with awards, it still comes down to stats. It's not about, look at Mike Trout. He's in the running for the MVP. What did the Angels do? Did they make the playoffs? Were they close to making the playoffs? Because it's stats. Now, he's not going to win. Old Mookie Betts going to win because guess what his team did?
Mike Trout doesn't play quarterback. It's the most valuable position in all of sports.
I'm glad Patrick, my homeboy, does, though.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that.
Okay,
Thank you.
But the quarterback I'm about to talk about beat Patrick Mahomes head-to-head by throwing for 182 yards in the fourth quarter. So let's just think about this for a second. Higher degree of difficulty between Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Higher degree. Who's got the higher degree? Help me out. Maybe the greatest array, the greatest hangar full of weapons we've ever seen in the history of the National Football League belonged to first-year starter Patrick Mahomes. One of the greatest play callers in the history of pro football is the quarterback coach and the head coach for Patrick Mahomes.
He ain't better than Josh McDaniels, what you tell me.
That's not what I say. I tell you, Tom Brady's the coordinator.
Okay,
he thinks up.
Okay, what are we going to do about Coach Belichick? How do we move him from that
Hold
equation?
on just a second. I haven't even started here because I'm going degree of difficulty. So we see Patrick Mahomes has had everything coming up roses for him, right, in Kansas City. We're only halfway through, so let's see how it starts to play out. But all I'm saying is I'll give you a slight edge for Patrick Mahomes right here, right now, but you better not sleep on that guy in Foxborough because he is coming for this award.
I'm hibernating
He is
on him.
the reigning MVP, and let's think about degree of difficulty. He did not have Julian Edelman for the first 4 games, and to my eye, Edelman just doesn't look like Edelman coming off the ACL. He doesn't have his burst that he used to have. Obviously, Gronk is a broken down mess right now. He's missed 2 games. He might be borderline done for the rest of the year. I don't know. He's got a bad back, bad ankle. And obviously, run game, they had Rex Burkhead as their primary back. He got hurt, went on IR. Sony Michel is still hurt. I thought he was going to play. Yeah, we're not sure about that. So, Tom Brady lost Amendola, and he lost Brandon Cooks, and he lost Malcolm Mitchell, and then they tried all kinds of Eric Deckers and Kenny Britts and Jordan Matthews, and all of them got cut. And he lost his left tackle, Nate Solder, to the New York Football Giants. And then they drafted Isaiah Wynn out of Georgia, and he got hurt in the preseason and lost for the year. This is what he's up against. His primary target got cut, basically, traded. Josh Gordon by the Cleveland Browns. We just had Hugh on yesterday, and they just gave up. They just said, nope, we just can't deal with this. More trouble than he's worth. He has become, wait a second, Tom Brady's primary target is now Josh Gordon, and to quote the great Shannon Sharpe, he looks like he's running with a piano on his back. Yeah. He's kind of a shell of what he was in 2013.
There are a lot of guys that ran like that. What Steve Largent run? Like 4-2?
Okay, I'm just saying, show me weapons. What is he doing? You want to talk about doing it with mirrors?
But I love how you say degree of difficulty now, but when you never made that case for LeBron James.
We're not talking about LeBron James. We're talking about NFL quarterbacks and MVPs.
That's what I'm talking about.
And all I need to ask you is the classic question. If Tom Brady had been in Kansas City from game number 1 this year, what would be happening? 07 all over would be happening. He would be setting records.
But that's not how you do it.
He would be setting records. If Patrick Mahomes, as a first-year starter, had started off game 1 in New England this year, they would have lost at least 2 games because they would have lost to Tom Brady's Kansas City and to Aaron Rodgers. Maybe 3 games because I think Deshaun Watson would have beaten Patrick Mahomes in game number 1. So if they had 3 more losses, they'd be 4-5 right now.
Well, Skip.
Think about that.
Well, think about what Tom Brady was in his first year. You remember what he was? You remember they won the Super Bowl, he threw 1 touchdown.
What does it matter? We're talking about 2018.
Okay, then why you keep going back?
Wait a second. Do you want to compare Patrick Mahomes career-wise to Tom Brady? Is that what we're doing? Well, seriously.
If Patrick Mahomes, when he gets to year 18, we can look back. But you don't get to say if Tom Brady was in Kansas City's offense.
Well, what would happen?
Yeah, we don't get to do that.
They would be undefeated, and he would be breaking records. He'd be on record-breaking pace.
Well, what if Peyton Manning had Coach Belichick his whole career?
Exactly.
That's my point. I don't care.
We're talking about 2018.
Exactly. And Patrick Mahomes, boy.
Okay, what would happen if Tom Brady had started the year in Kansas City?
I don't care. I don't care what happened. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about where they are right now. You keep going to degree of difficulty.
Okay, we're going to valuable, it's called most, a valuable player. By far the most valuable player in the National Football League right now, you cannot refute this, is Tom Brady. He just is.
Absolutely, we can.
I give you the stats. Listen, the kid, as a first-year starter, is playing phenomenally well.
Let me tell you what hurts your argument. Because we saw the New England Patriots without Tom Brady go 11-5. We see the Green Bay Packers without Aaron Rodgers miss the playoffs.
Okay, but we're talking about 2018, and we're talking about Bill Belichick, timeout, who I think has lost his fastball on defense as a defensive coordinator. He's at least lost his curveball.
Okay, what about in 2016? They played 4 games without Tom Brady. They win 3 of them. How many games did the Packers win with Aaron Rodgers?
What do you think? What would happen right now if Tom Brady were not the New England quarterback? This defense has been atrocious most of the year. Atrocious. Yeah. It gave up 31 second-half points to Patrick Mahomes, a first-year starter in Foxborough. In the second half.
That's
and
MVP.
Guess what?
That sounds like MVP to me.
No.
Sound like Mahomes
to me. The
Thank
MVP
you.
overcame that. He won in spite of his defense because he outscored him 43-40, and I'm going to say it again, 182 yards passing in the fourth quarter. Then he outgunned Aaron Rodgers in the fourth quarter by throwing for 104, going 6 for 6 in the fourth quarter.
But didn't Tom Brady have...
That's MVP. That's valuable.
Didn't Tom Brady have 24 in the first half? So why did he only get 19 in the second half?
He made all the plays down the stretch in the game. Yeah.
We have a winner.
Yeah.
And from Texas Tech, Patrick, my homeboy.
Do we?
Yeah.
That's all you got.
That is-
Front running.
Whoa, how about front
So
running?
should we declare the award over? Null and void.
Just
Okay.
like I told you
So-
2 weeks in, the Heisman Trophy
So
was over.
Should we just cancel the rest of the season?
No,
It
please.
doesn't count.
No, I want to get them stats. I want to get them the most Star Wars stats. Yeah, I love 50 and 5. Don't you like that, Skip? 50 tubs, 5K.
Kind of like Tom Brady in 07.
And what did he win?
Didn't win at all.
He won the MVP, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Peyton Manning.
Maybe in 07, Tom actually had too good of a wide receiver because he had Randy Moss. He doesn't win with greatness. He wins with below average.
50 and 8.
Yeah.
Because guess what, Skip? Listen, you know the rules, the way it's set up and the way the game is played. It's for, that's why you've only had 2 running backs interrupt the quarterbacks over all these years. If somebody scored, Todd Gurley gets to 30, 33 touchdowns, he's going to be in the mix. Just if somebody rushed for 2,100 yards like AP did, he's going to be in the mix.
So you know what makes me the sickest?
What
about
makes
this
you the
discussion?
sickest?
That these odds right now have Tom Brady as an also-ran tied with one Aaron Rodgers. Tied with Aaron Rodgers, whose QBR is 22nd in the league, and he is on pace to shatter the all-time record is Aaron Rodgers for throwaways by a quarterback, which means if he just doesn't have somebody wide open, he just throws it away.
That's what Tom Brady does.
He
That's
does
what you know about Tom Brady.
I can show you the stats. Tom Brady isn't even close to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is shattering the record for throwaways.
How many interceptions?
This is Aaron Rodgers' team is 3-4-1.
Yeah, okay, I get all that. I get,
3-4-1.
and that's going to hurt him in the voting.
Wow.
But if you don't mind me, how many touchdowns and interceptions does Aaron Rodgers have this year? I think it's like something 17-1.
I think
Is that pretty good?
15-1, right?
Oh,
15.
15.
You know why? Because he figured out, if I don't try to force this ball into any danger, then it won't get picked. So I'll just throw it away. And that's why your team is 3-4-1.
But you never said that when Tom Brady went 27-2, you didn't say Tom Brady wasn't forcing things.
Well, because I can show you the
smart.
stats. Well, he wasn't throwing the ball away like this. Aaron Rodgers at the
What he supposed to do? Force it?
At the slightest hint of danger or there's nobody open, I'll just throw it away.
Yeah, he don't want to turn into Tony
away.
Romo.
Whoa.
He don't want to turn into Tony Romo. No. We're not going to be
3-4-1?
Tony We're not going to be Tony
Tony, we
No.
can't. Enough MVP for now. Enough MVP for now. I got you guys. You guys got going there. Okay, I'm looking forward to this one. I think you're gonna like it too. Will Shannon finally admit Tim Tebow is a good baseball player?
I got to take another drink.
A good baseball player. That's next.
No mercy.
Tim Tebow's road to the majors has taken another step. The Mets' new GM said Tebow will start next season in AAA. Tebow hit .273 with 6 homers last season in AA before getting hurt, and the Mets' new GM was Tebow's agent before leaving that job. So he said, quote, "Timmy is not a guy you want to put restraints on. I believe in him." Shannon, what does this tell you?
Skip, bear with me. I'm sorry. I got to. In order to talk about this, I got to, okay? Just bear with me, Skip.
Had a busy day.
Bad day.
I mean, are you going to make it through? I think we still have another hour, Shannon.
Do you want me to drive you home?
I'll call Uber.
Call Uber. Okay, good.
Skip, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Did you hear what Jenny said in the read? The general manager used to be his agent. So nobody going to think anything wrong with this.
He knows him well.
It must be a great luxury. Just think about it. You're a professional athlete, and the organization will move heaven and earth to make sure you succeed, no matter how bad you might look in the process. And this is a terrible look. Now, he's going to start in AAA, which is in Syracuse, which had the second worst attendance next to Gwinnett. Now, Tim Tebow get them fans be coming. Some of them come to see him because they want to see him do well.
Remember, the Mets AAA last year was in Las Vegas.
They're all over Skip. But Skip, this is a bad look. You know this is Skip Bayless. I mean, come on now. Your former agent is the general manager. Really, Jen? Really?
Don't ask her. Ask
I don't have a problem with
Skip?
that.
That
doesn't bother me.
That's the problem. There's a problem with nepotism. That's a problem.
They're not related.
Yeah, but you get close enough. You know Skip Bayless. But you know it would be great if my former agent had some high-ranking position at Fox. There ain't nothing I couldn't do. There isn't nothing I don't believe I could say.
Well, I think you even think now there's nothing you can't do, right?
Oh, yeah, you might be right about that. You might be right about that. Hey, you know what? I'm going to go to if my agent had a high-ranking job here at Fox. You know what, Skip? I'm going to have this going to be Skip and Shannon Undisputed, and then I'm going to have me on my own little gig. You know, I have my own little gig.
No, it'd be Shannon and Skip.
No. But Skip,
or it might just be Shannon.
Just Shannon.
No. It's hard to, they're going out of their way. They want to see him in the majors so bad. When a team will go out of their way to do everything they possibly can. This isn't merit-based because I know Skip's going to give you the stat. Well, he hit this.
I should just leave.
No, I want you to stay.
He speaks both parts.
Yeah.
You're like you play two parts in the play. You speak two and you speak four.
Yeah, he's going to tell you how he hit 300 in this and he hit another 341.
Okay, we got that on the record. Thank you.
But unfortunately, guess what? They didn't start. They started in April. They played April. They played May. And for a guy that's a power hitter that played 5 months, he had 6. But this is where baseball is going. I'm not the biggest baseball aficionado. I'm not, Tim Kirchin, one of the Bob Nightingale's guys that follow the baseball like this. But this is where baseball is, not yet. You either hit a home run or you strike out. That's it. It's just like basketball. You either dunk the ball or you shoot a 3. Football is what, Skip? You pass the ball or you get paid. That's where you are now. You throw for a bunch of touchdowns or you got a bum for a quarterback. You have a great quarterback. There's no in between. He's either great or not, and he throws for a bunch of touchdowns. So this is where we are. Tim Tebow's either going to hit it out the park or strike out. But what we know is he had a bunch of strikeouts. Woo! I mean, I understand if he's hitting the ball at the park like Giancarlo Stanton, or he's hitting it out like even the Davis kid at the Angels, hit 241 and had another 40-something home. Doing that, sign him up. 6 home runs, 70-plus strikeout. That's not good. But that ain't none of my business.
So, you finished?
Yeah.
Another drink? Yeah, you need a little
you know what I need right here? I got to get some water. Got to stay hydrated.
So you can drive home. So, I handed you this topic on a silver platter because you are right. Tim Tebow's agent, and it's really, he was his former agent just like a few weeks ago.
Yes!
Right? This just started. But his agent, Brody Van Wagenen of CAA, mighty CAA, based here in Los Angeles,
right down the street,
is now the GM of the New York Mets. So this is good news, and this is really, really bad news for Tim Tebow, because if he does get called up, he will immediately get called out by the legions of Tebow haters around the world who will say, you're disqualified, your agent called you up and gave you a shot you did not earn or deserve.
Yeah.
So I get that, and I will be the first to tell you that Brody, outside of Tim's family, nobody knows and respects and believes in Tim Tebow more than Brody does. So that's a really powerful connection right there.
Think?
But I'm going to remind you that last year at AA, Tim Tebow made the All-Star team. That's pretty good, right?
So did 5
and
of his
I
teammates.
will remind you that near the end of the year, there were multiple reports that Sandy Alderson, who used to be the GM of the Mets, was leaning toward calling up Tim Tebow in September. And he, right on schedule, unfortunately broke his hand. And I think it was a pretty serious break, and I'm not sure how it's going to come back for spring training, but they are going to send him to AAA because he definitely earned a promotion to AAA, to see if he can then earn his way into the big leagues. Are the Mets going to be any better than they were last year when they went 77 and 85, 13 games back of the Atlanta Braves? Are they going to be much better than that? Probably not. So if Tim Tebow has a chance to get called up in September, would Brody jump at that? Sure, he would jump at that chance. Would it be some box office? But Shannon Sharpe, you know what Brody knows as well as anybody?
What do you know?
Outside of me? He knows about Tim Tebow having some of the strongest winners' intangibles in the history of professional sports. I give you 2011. Do you remember 2011? Because you know that team fairly well.
That was a long time ago. Why are we talking about 2011? It's a different sport. That's what he just told me.
Pro football.
2011.
We're talking about 2011 when Tim Tebow took a 1-4 dead-in-the-water Denver Broncos team that had no chance with Kyle Orton, and he turned it into a division champion that won a home playoff game against Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers thanks to Tim Tebow's clutch overtime pass to Demaryius Thomas for a touchdown that won the football game. I saw Tim Tebow that year lead the NFL in QBR in the last 5 minutes of all those games. And the great Eric Mangini sat on our show at ESPN and said, the later the game gets, the more accurate Tim Tebow gets. Wow, that's a powerful statement. So we saw him take over college football in big moments, unfortunately against my Oklahoma Sooners in the national championship game, and those intangibles still percolate within Tim Tebow.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. So if you give him a shot, if you bring him up in September, let's say they're still in the race, you don't think he might be good for a couple of big
What
clutch
race?
hits? You know, maybe he would do what Dez Bryant, you said, might do for the New Orleans Saints. Maybe he'd make 1 or 2 plays, a couple of hits, maybe a defensive play, knowing him, because that's what Tim Tebow does.
Yeah, Tim Tebow gonna have a race with Mr. Met. Yeah, hold on. Let me get this. Let me get this straight. Now, this is the same Van Wegeman that recommended that either they give Jacob DeGrom a contract extension or trade him. That's not him, is it?
He represented.
Now, how would that have looked?
He represented
They give it.
Cano and Cespedes and Ryan Zimmerman.
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about
He
them.
represented a whole bunch of
I'm
people.
not talking about them. Think about that now.
Okay.
Pay my guy. They give him a long term. They give him $200 million, and now he's the general manager. Okay, my client happens to be what is that? Prospect for this organization.
Yep.
My former client is a prospect for this organization that I control whether he goes up or down. But nobody thinks I'm the only one. I'm out of my mind for thinking that there's something wrong with this. Okay.
So that's what I said. All the haters will
will,
disqualify,
sure.
and that's okay because Tim Tebow is going to get a shot. And if I know Tim Tebow, and I think I do, he will come through on that shot.
I get you. I guarantee you. They might consider me a hater. I'm a truth teller. But what about those other minor leaguers? What are they going to be thinking? Are all of those guys haters that's been tolling around, that's hitting 285, 300, that doesn't get called up?
Did they lead a team to the division championship?
That ain't got nothing to do with baseball. He should have stuck with football.
Winners,
He should have stuck with football then. If he could have used
winners, intangibles.
For the record, I'm on Skip's side. I love
Thank
Tebow.
you.
Whoa, wait a
I
minute.
root for the guy.
Hold on, wait a
I root
minute.
for the guy.
Okay.
It's over. We got to go to break.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Stop.
Sorry, Shannon.
We got to get another winner
Sorry.
out here.
Did
Jason
we
gotta
Terry.
go.
Jason Terry's
He's
got
here.
winners
Jason
intangibles.
Terry is here.
He's
We're going to
got
talk
Tim
to him
Tebow in him.
about LeBron, about the Lakers.
No mercy.
Our next guest won an NBA title with the Mavs in 2011. He won a 6th Man of the Year award and scored over 18,000 career points. Ray Allen and Reggie Miller are the only players in NBA history that have made more three-pointers. So Jason Terry, welcome to Undisputed. It's good to have you here.
It is possible that Jason Terry will still get a call from an NBA team. I don't know. It could be the Warriors. It could be the Lakers. You never know. But we would like to officially welcome him as a new member of the FS1 team. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hey, hold on. Where's the paperwork?
I think you already signed the paperwork.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm here, man. Hey, thanks for having me.
All we gonna do, all we pay you in is, that's all. We got no money.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. We ain't got no money.
Just get used to this.
Lifetime supply.
You never know over here, Jason. Well, since you are here and we've been talking a lot about the Lakers, I want to get your take on what you saw last night. They beat the Wolves last night, 114-110. LeBron scored a team-high 24 points, was 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart each had at least 20 points. Derrick Rose had a career-high 7 3-pointers, but he missed a shot with under 5 seconds left that would have given Minnesota the lead. The Lakers have now allowed at least 110 points in every game this season, and the win puts them at 5-6. So, Jason, how impressive did the Lakers look, in your opinion, last night?
Impressive? That's a
Impressive.
very strong word.
Okay.
Encouraged? Yes.
Okay.
But obviously, you knew when you brought in my good friend, Tyson Chandler, the champion.
You know what? He's a good man.
He's a great man.
He's one of the best people I've ever interacted with.
Oh, no doubt about it. Somewhat of a troll under a bridge here the last 3 or 4 years, right? Since he left Dallas. But you bring him in, obviously you bring in a winner. And in the clutch moments, which the Lakers have struggled in, Tyson Chandler was out there on the court, came up with a big contested 3-point shot of Derrick Rose, and they solidified the victory. Big front court depth is what they've been lacking. JaVale McGee has been playing outstanding this season.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, right? Could be most improved
defensive
player of the year, whatever.
Yeah.
But their biggest problem was when they subbed him off the floor,
Yep.
you had to bring in LeBron and play him at the 5, sometimes the
Kuzma.
4, or Kuzma at the 5. Undersized,
Yeah.
no deterrent to the offense, and they would just attack them in the paint. So now you bring in Tyson Chandler. He solidifies that depth. He gives them added leadership, and he is a champion.
I agree. And Skip and I, we talked about this earlier. I wouldn't go impressive because they still gave up 110 points.
Oh, yeah.
They gave up 67 points in the first half. That's not good. But I agree with you with Tyson Chandler, and that's what they need because when they go JaVale, now you get somebody that can help you rebound. Those two offensive rebounders were crucial because they gave you 2 more opportunities. Although they only cashed on one of them, it gave you an extra possession, and that's what they need. And plus, they gave him a big body to bang with Karl Anthony Towns because LeBron can't. Towns is too big for LeBron. He's too big for Kuzma, and he's too big for Williams, the kid that was on the two-way that they sent him back down. But now you got another big body. JaVale McGee is a help defender. He's not an on-ball defender.
Correct.
He's not an Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis can D you up on the ball. He's looking to help somebody misses assignment or their guy gets to the rim. He's going to come try and pin it to the backboard. So I love the move. I didn't like the shots that LeBron took. Those 2 long threes, I believe he can get a better shot than 30-foot threes.
Oh,
I believe he can.
He can.
I could be wrong.
Early on in that game, though, did you see LeBron attacking?
You see him rise up, Skip?
You see him rise up?
Skip, do you? Hey, I told you. That's another
Early.
2.
I told you.
No, that vibranium.
That's what I
Did you see him rise up, Skip? Way above the rim.
So what happened in the last minute of the game when you had the basketball in your hands twice with a chance to just slam the door?
9 points.
What are you doing?
Door got stuck.
The door got stuck. I don't know. It just drives me crazy. Listen, bottom line from last night, I saw flashes of maybe not greatness, but goodness. I saw a good basketball team.
Yes.
I saw a second half where they held them to 43 points, 21 in the third and 22 in the fourth. That if you could do that every night, boy, you'd be at the top, right?
Well, the other thing you have to add is you had 4 players with 20 points. I mean, when's the last time that happened?
Well, when's the last time the Los Angeles Lakers made 15 three-point shots because they needed them to offset the franchise record 20 that the Wolves made last night on the road at Staples?
No doubt, and that's what our game has transcended to. Is you have to be able to take and make threes.
You just have
to have a chance.
Okay, so
You have
this
to be able to
team
defend
is
it.
going to go as far as the king can carry this team. Last night, I saw flashes of complete and utter dominance. To your point, nobody can attack the basket. Nobody can freight train the way LeBron still can. In year 16, he is still man among boys on a basketball court. When he decides, there's nobody who can keep, I don't know, maybe Tyson Chandler could if you reverse roles. But my point is, Karl Anthony couldn't keep him from the rim. So why wouldn't, in the end, he's got 2 chances. They're up 1 point with 46.2 seconds left. He's got the ball in the wing. Just go. Now, again, is he a great late-game free throw shooter? He is not. Is that like his Achilles heel? Well, just take him. Just go take him because maybe you can make 1 of them, make him 2 of them. And I told Shannon early in the show, the shot that I like that he is starting to perfect later in his career is sort of a Michael Jordan memorial turnaround jump shot. And once you take whoever's guarding, Andrew Wiggins.
Wiggins.
Yeah, okay, it's Wiggins. I think I had him most of the time.
Yes.
Whoever's on him, sometimes Jimmy Butler, but
correct.
whoever it is, just take them in the lane and just turn around and rise up over them and shoot that 8-foot, 10-foot fall away. I trust that shot more than a 3-point shot. He's got off to a bad start from 3. I'm sure he will slowly but surely tick up, but he came into the game 28.8% from 3. Well, that's not the shot that you want to slam the door with. And then he had it right, but thanks to Tyson Chandler, he got another shot at 15.2 seconds, thanks to a back tap from Tyson Chandler. And he bricked another shot from deep 3. You just can't do it. Well, you can't do it. You got to close it. You got to take it in the lane. You got to make something happen. That's not your forte.
No.
Right?
It's not, but it's definitely a shot that he can't make.
Every once in a while.
This is where my guy Tyson Chandler comes in.
Okay.
Hey, big fella, we're going to need you to drive that to the basket.
Would Tyson?
He's going to tell you that.
Okay.
100%.
Hey,
that's strong right there.
Do you remember the game that he tied it up at the Spurs?
Yeah.
That 3-point shot?
Right. Yeah,
so he's well capable of making that shot.
Then what happened?
No, see, Skip.
Well, wait a second.
I'm like you, Skip. You gotta play the percentages,
Wait.
though.
You just swept
That's
it
not
under your little carpet over
No,
there.
but you make it seem like he can't make that shot.
Okay, so it goes to overtime, and then they're up 6 with a minute left in overtime, and they can't hold the lead, and they lose.
Right.
Okay?
They
He
can't.
lost.
No.
He's the king.
Hey, you see what he did?
He's the closer.
It
He's
went
got
from
to be
day
the
to
closer.
But he closed last night. He had 9 points in the fourth quarter.
So, Jason Terry, then I got to take your man Tyson Chandler and my man Tyson Chandler to task because I got to tell you on the last shot of the game by Derrick Rose, he just hacked him across the hand. He just got him, and it was very interesting that Derrick Rose said, you want to see it? Can we show it
You
again?
have to run that again. I don't know about
He got him.
Hand is
He
part of the
fouled him.
ball.
Here, whoa. Watch. He goes across
in the
and he
shooting
slapped
motion.
him.
Oh, no.
He slapped
He got
him.
a piece of the ball.
He slapped his
Let me ask you a
hand.
question. If Steph Curry shooting that shot, they calling it?
They are calling that foul.
So Derrick Rose said after the game, they aren't going to give me that call.
No, they're
This
not.
is Derrick Rose, the former MVP, who lost his superstar privilege with the refs over the last 4 years.
100 former MVP.
Former
Yes.
MVP.
Way
right?
former.
Way former. But
Not
you know
gonna
what?
get that call in that situation in L.A.
Right.
In L.A.
He is starting to resemble the MVP.
Yeah, better.
Am I right?
I'm so happy
Yeah.
for that kid, man.
Ah.
You know what? All the perseverance, the adversity that he's been through his last 3 or 4 years, the injuries, the people, the naysayers, the social media trolls telling me he would
He
never
did. He did leave
never
and not
leave.
tell nobody where
He
he was going,
left.
Jason.
Well, it looks like that's what he needed to do.
No,
mentally to get that
You
sanity.
can tell
back.
your boss. You just can't leave work, and they looking for you. You say, well,
So
I won't be.
Skip never checked out on y'all and
No.
we'll get it together.
No.
Not
No.
once.
He ain't
Not
take no day.
once.
I took 1 day.
I need to know that.
And then he called
took
me.
one
talking about-
day.
He called me. I
I got
take
knocked
1
on
day
wood.
in 2.5 years. I took 1 day.
Just one.
Everything okay? I like Skip. I took 1 day. Not a month.
He's disqualified. He took a day
One
off.
day.
1 day.
Sorry, you're
We
out.
work 240 days a year. I get 1 in 2.5 years. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Now that you're on the team, you realize no days off.
No days off. At least I'm going to check with somebody before I need to
Checking
go
with
to
somebody.
business.
I mean,
But Derrick Rose is a career 29% three-point shooter, and he's taught himself a stroke.
Well, it's
man.
confidence. It's confidence. It's being comfortable with your surroundings. Tibbs has done a wonderful job of just reinstilling that confidence in him. Go be you. Be the best you can be, and you've seen what it's done for him. The kid is hitting threes like Steph
He's
Curry
made
out there.
46% of
and
his
he's still
threes.
driving the ball. He's still
He's
getting
still
to the
getting
rim.
to the rim, finishing strong. Did he get some vibranium?
He may have.
Boy, he might have shot.
Oh, babe, I don't know
Because
what he
when-
keep it going.
Remember when he wrecked his knee, he lost all faith in his legs.
Yes.
And then one thing led to another injury, and people question his mental toughness. I didn't know if
Now,
he's ever-
Minnesota still has some issues. My question to
Wow,
you fellas
yeah.
is, Teague is out. When he comes back,
That's
is
a
Derrick Rose your starting point guard?
Yeah, Teague ain't getting that job back.
No.
No, Teague ain't getting that job back. You know that.
Teague is a little better distributor than Derrick is. I always thought Derrick was more of a 2 than a 1. That's just me. But he did win the MVP, so is it possible you can play both of them?
Well, the thing was, once he Skip,
Maybe.
guys, once he wrecked his knee, he was mainly a drive the ball to the basket, pull up, shoot the little floater. Well, you don't have your legs, you can't do that. And he didn't have the outside shot. Now he can still get to the rim and he can make that shot. He might be more. He's still a young man. I mean, he's been in the league 10 years.
barely 30.
Yeah.
Barely
So
30.
he's still a very young man. But man, he looked impressive. I mean, shooting the three. I'm like, dude, when did the Timberwolves get Steph Curry?
Right. he's tough.
And
Good to see.
what's your view of Jimmy Butler versus Karl Anthony Towns? Because when Jimmy's ready to play and steps on the court, Karl Anthony just shrinks. Like, I don't want to be out here anymore.
Yeah. You can tell the chemistry is not quite there. I'm not in the locker room. I don't know. I don't have any information privy that tells me those two are disgruntled. But you can see it. They just don't get along. They fail to coexist. And Karl Anthony's numbers, if you look at them, they are.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you don't have
Damn.
to be there because you heard the reports that he challenged everybody in the preseason.
Yeah.
You. It was reported last year that he called Karl Anthony Towns on the anatomy part. Yeah. So, yeah, and then it come out, I said,
Well, yeah, sort of.
Yeah, so when you look at it,
Yeah.
somebody's got to just go ahead, Skip. It's not going to get better. Jimmy wants out, or he wants the money that you gave Cat. You can't be in the luxury tax for the 7th or the 8th seed. It doesn't make sense.
No, and you don't have the veterans in the locker room to police or control that situation, and it is just going to continue to spiral. They'll win one, they'll win two, but Derrick Rose has to get 50 for us to win one game. That's a hard living in this league, especially in the Western Conference.
Karl Anthony Towns went from being the man, now he has to share the spotlight because it was him and Wiggins. Now Jimmy comes. Jimmy, I'm the man.
What, 2 years in a row, Karl Anthony won the GM poll for who you'd like to start your
build a franchise with. Right.
Really?
So he like going to that, and I got to share the shots with you. And then Andrew.
Didn't we just vote? We need a recount.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, you got to be tougher than that.
We saw him in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Getting about 6 points, 7 points a game.
Yeah, you got to be a little tougher than that, mentally and physically.
Well, Minnesota has to figure it out.
I
just don't like
you went and
it.
saw that massacre.
They got to figure it out.
Yeah, they got to figure it out.
Minnesota
Oh,
team.
I forgot you went to see the Wolves. You didn't go to see the Lakers.
Yeah, I was
okay.
the one person.
That's the one building you can get away with cheering for the visiting team and nobody's going to bother you.
It was basically
care.
me and three of us, so it made sense. All right, they'll figure it out. Either way, Zion Williamson, he made a major statement this week, but you won't believe what Steve Kerr said about it. We will tell you next.
No mercy.
Well, Zion Williamson made his highly anticipated debut for Duke in a blowout win against Kentucky on Tuesday. Zion had 28 points, 7 rebounds, only missed 2 shots in the win. Steve Kerr gave high praise to Zion yesterday without mentioning his name for fear of tampering. You got to hear it.
I saw some kid on Duke last night who was pretty impressive. My goodness. I probably can't say anything more or mention his name because I'll get, lots of them. There were lots, but no, the one who's 285, I thought LeBron was, I thought that was a one guy, one shot deal, but apparently the next guy's coming.
All right, Jason Terry still with us. When you hear those words, do you like the LeBron-Zion comparison?
Tough. That's tough. You're talking about one of the greatest players to ever play the game. You're comparing him to a young kid that has just thrust and came on the scene. Now, physically, yes, okay, strong, 285. Well proportioned, just gonna be a dynamic player when he gets into the NBA, right? But still, I mean, it's just so much to love about LeBron's overall total game, the mental aspect of it. He's not quite there yet, okay? But the NCAA is gonna have to change the rule because they gotta let this kid, please save college basketball. This kid is incredible. Nobody's gonna get in the way when he's coming down the lane. His court vision was phenomenal the other night. He made a pass going to his left, threw it back to the right, one bounce, perfect. The guy laid it in. I mean, he's just all around a dynamic player. And I think now you're being able to see it.
He shouldn't have to play college basketball.
He shouldn't have to play anymore. I mean,
Really?
that one, one and done? One game and done. Go ahead.
That was enough. Just
sit out the rest of the season. But no, the kid is totally phenomenal. He's dynamic. But the comparison is really hard to say. I just think his upside, though, could be. And then you don't really know how tall the kid is, 6'5", 6'8". It really doesn't matter. You know, LeBron's 6'8". But I just think right now it's just a tough comparison. 2 different players, but he is definitely dynamic.
I think it's too much. No, I don't like the comparison.
Okay.
It's too much to compare him to LeBron. LeBron is a once-in-a-lifetime prodigy. And as great as LeBron was as a high school player, nobody saw LeBron like this in the NBA.
No.
That's a whole, Skip, it's just like Michael Jordan. We saw Michael Jordan gravitate, but nobody saw Michael Jordan doing this.
no, nobody saw Mike. I think, I don't know, I thought LeBron was going to be really good.
Yeah,
in the
but
NBA,
Skip,
like really good.
But you're talking about Mount Rushmore good. I don't think anybody thought that. No. And here's the thing, though, and I agree with you when you talk about Zion Williams. How tall is he? Because if
I said yesterday, I'm not sure he's
6'5",
6'7". I don't know.
6'6",
maybe 6'6".
Because here's the thing. In the old NBA, in the 90s NBA, he's Charles Barkley, he's perfect. But with the way the game is now, is 3-point, he'll be undersized playing any position. So he's going to have to expand. And what concerns me most is you mentioned it. He's 18 at 285. You, Skip, I'm like, who did this guy, I'm saying Zach Randolph. I said, no, but I've seen that body somewhere before. Sean Kemp.
There you go.
The athleticism,
But
the bounce. And-
6'10".
But what happened? Sean Kemp was 6'10". All of a sudden, he didn't condition himself. He went from 6'10", 250, 6'10" to 280, 6'10" to 305.
He did.
And the next thing you know, he's out of the league. At 285, this guy's going to constantly, he's going to have a full-time chef. He's going to have to be on top of his nutrition because at if you 285 at 18, you could easily be 350. No doubt. You could easily be 400.
Sean Kemp did not have muscles like this kid has.
And that's the thing.
I mean, this is football. This is NFL muscle.
So what happens with muscle? Muscle weighs more than fat, so you could really. But Sean had bounce like this kid because Sean Kemp could jump out of the gym.
Do I know that? Real quick aside, quick story. Once upon a time in the city you live in Dallas, I was asked to judge a slam dunk contest at halftime of a Maverick game. It was just a bunch of kids. I thought they were high school kids, but there was one kid from junior college, and I didn't know who he was, and he went first, and it was Sean Kemp. He does some big bam, and I give him a 7 because I didn't want to give him a 10 because then I'd set the bar too high.
Yeah.
And I just got humiliated the rest of the night because he just ran off the dunk contest, and I was the guy who gave him a 7. It was Sean Kemp because he could jump out of the gym.
Remember the McDonald's All-American game, Skip? He took up from the free throw line.
That is correct. So, back to this. I was really shocked and disappointed in Steve Kerr that he went LeBron James on Zion. It's just way too soon. Why would you do that? And the line was, I thought LeBron was a one-shot deal. So he's saying, here he is.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new LeBron. Really? After one game at Duke against Kentucky? Well, it's just wrong. And you know what? I think LeBron one day will look back and regret the fact that he proclaimed himself the next Michael Jordan because he did coming out of high schoal. Chosen one tattooed across his back, and he chose to wear 23 because that was his idol.
Right.
And he basically said, I got next. And it's been hard on him to try to have next because that other guy was real. I thought he was a one-shot deal, Michael Jordan.
Right.
And there have been a bunch of next Jordans who failed miserably, right?
And
so
Kobe.
don't think
Kobe was the
Kobe failed
but Kobe, when Kobe came in, nobody thought he was going to be the next this.
No, nobody thought it. So I look at this kid, and again, to your point, he played point guard in high school because his mother and his stepfather taught him right. He plays the right way because he can really distribute.
He can.
LeBron is still the best passer in basketball. Yeah. You want to talk about once-a-lifetime passer? That's what LeBron James, that's his greatest strength to me. I know his strength is his strength. I mean, he literally just man among boys. He can bully people in the lane and attack in the basket.
Correct.
At some point, so will this kid be able to. But LeBron, even though I think he's a below-average shooter, but this kid was a horrible shooter in high school.
Yeah.
I look back at LeBron's senior year of high school. LeBron shot 38% from three, pretty good.
That's
and he
terrible.
shot.
In high school.
For you, it's
In
be
high
terrible.
school, 38% the line.
Good line.
Oh,
Okay,
my
but I'm
goodness.
saying by his NBA standards, that's not terrible. And he was a 68% free throw shooter, and that line is the same length as it is in the league, right? 68%.
He got better.
Okay,
Yeah, but that's the key.
He got a little bit better, but
Yes.
this kid tried last year in high school. He shot 35 threes and made 7. So he shot 20%, and he was a 61% free throw shooter. Can he get better than that? Probably
He will. No, he will.
But I think we got a little misled the other night. He took 1 3. It's
It
just
made
a
it.
set shot, and he just ripped it. And that was early in the game.
Right.
That was it.
Well, he'll have his opportunity to shoot as many threes as he wants because nobody's going to get anywhere close to him within 10 feet. I mean, because if you do, you know what's going to happen.
Yep.
You're going to blow by you.
Boom. You're going to get
Posterization.
posterized.
But I believe the difference between the two, I believe LeBron is a lifetime prodigy.
Yeah.
Zion Williams right now is an athletic prodigy. There are differences between the two.
But he does know how to play now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the most thing that impressed me because you watch the social media and you've seen all the highlights.
Right.
But then when you watch him on this stage, NCAA game, first game, nationally televised, he just jumped off the charts because he did it all. And then you throw in that little three-pointer that he hit. And now you are kind of thinking like, oh, is this the next LeBron?
Okay, the next somebody. But
Somebody.
LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron is a Mount Rushmore player. Do you understand
wouldn't go
Mount
that
Rushmore?
far.
Well, you always
Don't
looking
do that,
for the
Skip.
next.
Leaping
Been
to
there before.
conclusion.
It ain't no leaping, it no
I've gone
conclusion.
there
So-
before.
You know what my wife told me before I came out here today?
What?
You the next Shannon Sharpe. I said, oh.
She said that?
You
That's why she told me.
You talking about, see?
That was it.
Yeah. Now you got to get you some glasses.
That's all.
And take your picture.
Are you taking that as a challenge or a threat?
No, you got to take it down. He's going to take his picture. He's going to be on IG. We get right.
Wow.
Get right.
Stop hating,
I think
Skip.
he just
Get
called you out
right.
right to your face.
Oh.
Get right.
Yeah.
Your
Wow.
competitiveness around
You need
here.
another drink. I'll drink to that.
You know,
Oh my
we got-
gosh.
I got to have Uber to drive me home.
Yeah, he's had a busy day already. Thursday. Yeah. Don't take notes from him in that
with
way.
these topics. Had Tebow in there and talking crazy about LeBron.
Brought Tebow back out. Did you?
I'm not talking crazy
Brady,
about Ron.
talking about Brady. I get
Spitting
Let me
truth.
scoop my
the whole
chair over
day.
because I'm a Brady.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Love me
I
some
knew
Tom
there was
Brady.
ways that we
Front
wanted to
runner,
go
you
on
know
that.
what?
The greatest of all time.
Who, Aaron Rodgers?
Tom Brady.
Don't do that.
How many Super Bowls?
You know what? We don't need Shannon on this show.
You know what? Don't do that. You from Dallas.
Wow.
What about Romo?
Who?
What about Aikman?
Who?
Starback.
Brady.
He just
Now, if you would have
lives in
threw
Dallas.
Montana in there, I would have gave you a little bit of credit. But nobody comes close.
Yeah. Lies you tell. Now, you know you're not supposed to do that on television. Your kids watching, you know, you want to set a good, positive example.
I like Aaron Rodgers, but I'm just saying, he got one.
Shannon, I still love you anyway.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm
anyway.
about to take another drink.
Yeah.
I don't know. No more drinks. Well, Duke back in action Sunday, so we've got a lot to watch with this kid.
yeah.
If he can rise to the occasion over and over again.
Yes, thank you.
That's going to be
One
the real
game,
test.
now he LeBron.
I give you a
One
heads up.
game.
It's going to be all season. They need to shut him down now like they did Kyrie and just let him relax. Let him work on that conditioning. Get down to about
That is,
265.
you know what, that is a
He'll be
problem.
ready to be the
He
number
Fair
one pick.
He had trouble in high school keeping his weight.
Yeah.
So this could
He,
be
he, he a big kid.
Yeah.
He's chiseled now, though, I will
Big
say.
kids grow up to be big adults.
Yeah.
Jason, thank you for being here. We look forward to having you more. Will Dez Bryant look like an elite receiver in New Orleans? We'll discuss that with D'Angelo Hall next.
No mercy.
All right, Dez Bryant is back in the NFL after he agreed to a one-year deal with the Saints yesterday. He joins a Saints team that has won 7 straight, has the second best scoring offense in the NFL, but no Saints wide receiver other than Michael Thomas has more than 12 catches this season. And get this, in 3 weeks, Dez's new team will play his old team, the Cowboys, in Dallas. We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst D'Angelo Hall. Welcome. So, big move. We've been talking about Dez all year. You know, will Dez make Dallas miss him?
I think he will. I think New Orleans will find a way to use him that maximizes what he does well. I think a lot of the hiccup we have with the whole Dez leaving Dallas situation is, I mean, when you don't have a quarterback who can give you the ball in the right place, or is comfortable giving you the ball in the right place, it then not only becomes hard on that quarterback, but it becomes hard on that receiver. And I felt like Dak doesn't like to throw that ball into those tight windows where, whereas Tony didn't mind throwing in tight windows. Dez made a lot of catches off schedule when Tony just kind of scrambled out the pocket. So I think the dynamic in which he'll be able to run routes in New Orleans, it'll be more conducive to what will make him a better player. And you talked about New Orleans not having many receivers to throw the ball to. Dez is another weapon, I think, that not being a number one, which I think we're all in agreement he's not a number one. He can't really separate. But when you have Drew Brees, you don't need to separate. Drew Brees has had bigger, slower receivers that were successful. I think about a guy I played against, Marcus Colston, a big guy who didn't separate at all, but Drew was able to put that ball on him every single time. And Colston made a couple Pro Bowls and racked up a lot of yards over his career in New Orleans. And Michael Thomas is the same type of guy. He doesn't really separate at all. And as a DB, speed always scared me. The bigger guys, I always felt like I was able to kind of beat them up, stay with them, put my hands right there. But you run across a couple receivers like a Michael Thomas, A.J. Green, who still has a little speed, but no matter where you are, they still seem to be able to pluck that ball out the air. And Dez is one of those kind of guys, and I just think this is a match made in heaven. I think the success he has in New Orleans will have Dallas Cowboy fans saying, man, we probably should have offered this guy a little bit of a pay cut as opposed to just releasing him. And then I think that pressure that the fans will give the Cowboys would then have them saying, yeah, maybe we were a little bit premature.
Redskin and D'Angelo is speaking for him. The Redskin just took your tongue over right now, right? You just couldn't help yourself. You were spilling Cowboy hate because you want to see Dez come back and haunt the Dallas Cowboys. Am I right?
No, not at all.
Yes.
Oh,
not at all.
yes.
Not at all. I don't care if he haunts the Cowboys. I think mentally when you get released and you sit home for a while,
Yeah.
you get humbled. Things change. Priorities change. I think a big reason Dez didn't go to Baltimore wasn't simply because it was Baltimore. I think he thought $7 million was a smack in the face. I think he wanted more, around the lines of 10, 12.
Well, guess what he's making now?
I know.
600,000
Probably league minimum.
rated.
Exactly.
Plus
Shannon, because when you don't have it,
maxes
you
his
don't
incentives,
care.
he makes 1.1.
Yeah.
I know. And that's the thing. When you aren't playing, you'll do anything to get out there. Anything.
Okay, but think back. You had legendary battles with Dez Bryant,
Yeah.
Redskin Cowboy battles. And you held your own and often, I thought, got the best of him. Fair to say? It was
They
50-50.
won more games than I think we did, I think.
Okay, but
If
in
I
your
had to think about it. But yeah.
How many times did you have him man?
To a man, I didn't lose sleep covering Dez.
Okay,
No.
thank you.
Okay.
So I think you're still living in the past view of Dez because I don't know that guy. That guy you used to cover.
Well,
that guy last year was a shell of himself.
Well, Skip, think about the game. I didn't even play against the Cowboys, I think, the second time in Dallas where we had on the all burgundy. What did Dez go for in that game?
Which game? Last year or 2 years ago?
I want to say last year. Last year in Dallas.
No, he hadn't had a 100-yard game in the regular season in a very long time.
I thought he had 100 that.
No, not.
I know he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he might have got 2 touchdowns. I think his last 100-yard game was that playoff game against the Packers.
Boy, I got no memory. All I can remember is he led the NFL in drops last year.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why I disagree with you.
All right.
Because Dez Bryant was never going to put the work in that he's putting in with New Orleans for Dallas. He had gotten too comfortable. They had gotten comfortable with realizing that this is what Dez can do. They was never going to get imaginative like Drew Brees says Sean Payton is, so they weren't going to allow him to do what Dez thought he could do because they had gotten comfortable and he had gotten comfortable. So being late to meetings, blowing off meetings, not showing up for treatment, things that he won't do in New Orleans, he was always going to do in Dallas. Because
why did he get away with it?
Because they enabled him.
Because Jerry treated him like a son, literally like a son.
It's called production intolerance. See, when the production is up here, Skip, you would almost tolerate anything. Now, all of a sudden, production starts to do this. Oh, now we can't have tolerance tied in production.
You're right.
So all of a sudden, now, Skip, he's being late for meetings that he's always been late for, rubs you the wrong way.
Now's the problem. Yeah.
Oh, he's showing up, he blowing off treatment. Now, all of a sudden, it's a problem. When he was giving you 16 touchdowns, he's giving you 1,400 yards. That's not a problem. So, no, the Cowboys are not going to miss him because they're going to say, you know what, Dez, had you worked that hard, had you been that diligent, had you been that respectful of the time here, you would still be here.
Correct. Which is why, as a Cowboy fan, I'll take Amari Cooper over Dez Bryant any day or any night. And I will take him on the night of Thursday, November 29th, at Jerry World when Dez comes home, quote unquote.
Dez says it's personal.
He'll say it's personal. He'll be overamped. He'll be spilling with bad blood, and he'll drop 3 balls that night because he'll just want it too badly. That's just me. Do you disagree on Amari Cooper?
I disagree. I mean, the value in what you gave up
right
for
now,
Amari Cooper,
you would take Dez over Amari Cooper right now.
I'm saying I'm not giving up a first-round draft pick and about to pay Amari Cooper.
Okay.
Well, you got it for $15 million.
$18 million a year.
You got it for
on top
15
of that, I'm just saying I'm not going to do what it takes to lock Amari Cooper up for the next 4 or 5 years. I would have just. I mean, and I'm not saying Dez was the answer. I'm saying they're going to miss him because he can still play football, and they needed help. They went and got help by going to get Amari Cooper. Exactly, not for $14 million, but to have not even been asked to take a pay cut, like to me, that's what Dez is talking about when he was saying the disrespect. Like for what I've done for this organization, you can't call me and say, hey, look, you're making 14, you ain't really playing like a number 1, come down to 8. If I say no, then that's on me, and then I'm out the door.
I believe the Dallas Cowboys had Dez Bryant not blown off meetings, been late to practice, not showing up for treatment. I believe they make that.
Sure.
They did it for Larry Fitzgerald when you are exemplary.
You're right.
They got no problem doing that. Why am I, if you're going to exhibit the same behavior, and that's what I really want to get up out of here, and another, you mentioned about Tony Romo giving him those chances. See, here's the thing. Tony Romo never had anybody behind him. See, Dak Prescott had Tony Romo looking over his shoulder. He forces that ball to Dez. He throws a couple of picks. in a couple of games, guess who's going to be in the starting lineup again? Because remember,
and you know what? He might still be in the starting lineup right now. He might not be in the.
Because remember, Tony got healthy about week 6.
I know, and they was rolling.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm not forcing that ball to Dez Bryant. Y'all must be crazy. And I'm not giving this job up.
The biggest shock of Jerry Jones' career in my eyes, and I've covered most of it and written books about it, was that he cut Dez Bryant because that took a lot.
Yeah.
That took his son and his daughter and several front office people sitting down saying, Jerry, it's over.
Right.
He's not who he used to be. So you can live in the past all you want, but you do make one powerful point that I didn't see, and that is that Drew Brees can throw people open like nobody who's ever played the game. So,
this is going to put Drew Brees to the ultimate test.
Well, I'm not saying they're going to miss Dez's ability on the field, because if he was more work than actual reward as far as being a headache in that building, then that's a different story. Then no, ain't nobody gonna miss that. But I'm saying for this Dallas offense to be as bad as they are, Dez is another playmaker that they could have used.
They had him last year.
Yes, they had him last year, but yeah, we're saying a humbled Dez. A humbled Dez. But you're saying he would have never gotten humbled?
Because
I don't know.
What's the
people don't have tough conversations in general when it comes to sports and athletics. Like, coaches don't sit you down and give you that one-on-one. That's why when you run across real coaches that you genuinely have a connection with, like a McVay, you tend to respect that more because you're right. Those coaches would have never sat down with Dez and had that conversation. But a real coach would. I'm telling you, today's new age coaches,
what job you gonna have in America where your boss gonna come to you and I need you to show up on time. I need you to be in these meetings. I need you if something's going.
That's why guys love Sean McVay, because he will have that conversation with a guy.
For $14 million, I'm there early. You know that I ain't missing. No, you might get rid of me.
A guy you inherit who's always had those bad habits, you as a coach wouldn't go up to him and say, "Hey, look, this is what you need to do to continue to get better."
He's been there with Jason Garrett for how long?
I know he's been there with Jason Garrett, but I'm telling you why a different coach, like a Sean McVay type of coach, that would come in there and talk to you and tell you what's going on and keep it real with you. Because in the meetings, they talking all kind of trash about you.
Right.
So I need a coach that's going to come in here and keep it real with me and let me know how they feel about me.
Maybe if a new coach had come in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a new conversation. But he ain't going to change with Jason Garrett there.
Nah.
First of all, even if Jason Garrett told him he needed him to be on time, if he needed him to get treatment, he just go upstairs to Jerry, and Jerry's going to shut it down. That's why they love Jerry, because they can circumvent the head coach. They can circumvent the trainer. They can circumvent the GM and go straight to Jerry.
Well, he's the GM.
Yeah.
And you know what? Dez may have been humbled, but he's been eating a whole bunch of humble pie because he's gained 20 pounds? That's what it looks like to me.
I said it yesterday.
I don't know what he's gained. He looks bigger than you.
Yeah.
He look no bigger than Le'Veon Bell walking out of that gym.
Yeah,
Le'Veon looks big.
But here's the thing. Running back, look, Le'Veon, it's not like Le'Veon's breakaway, but that dude a receiver. Dez look like every bit of 240.
That big to me. I don't know.
Well, put it like this here. They said that they asked him to lose 5 pounds. Normally when they ask you to lose 5, it's really 10.
How long does that take then for him?
It's going to take a minute because there's nothing gets you in football.
Not that
What gets you in shape?
About 2 weeks.
It's not that hard.
Just running around.
Doing what?
Practice.
Playing football. When last time he played football?
He's going to probably go a little harder in practice. They're going to probably have him on the scout team a little bit too.
And then what you got to work
conditioning.
when you haven't worked out and it's this late in the season, what you work out?
I mean, he's been working out. You telling me this man ain't been working out?
That's the thing. See, housewives work out. Athletes train.
Well, even training. This man,
no, he ain't been training.
Been training. If he ain't training, trying to get a job, he might as well not even sign that contract.
How he trying to get a job and he tweeting at me and Skip?
He too much time.
You know what, Jenny? I know
he got a lot of time, man.
In really good shape, so I
don't know.
No. I don't know.
Me too.
See, talking about they train, work out.
I'm an athlete. I eat and train. A lot of people died in exercise. They're two different things. I'm just saying.
Things. Yes.
I'm just saying. That's what I do as an athlete.
We've had that debate here, and I will always lose. So until then, I'm just going to wrap it up. D'Angelo, thank you for joining us. What on earth is going on with Floyd Mayweather? What's he doing? We're going to try to make sense of it next.
No mercy.
Get this. Floyd Mayweather was supposed to come out of retirement to fight on New Year's Eve in Japan against a 20-year-old Japanese kickboxer, but not so fast, according to Floyd. He wrote on Instagram yesterday that the whole thing was a misunderstanding. Floyd said he never agreed to an official fight and thought it was a 3-round exhibition. He added that at the press conference last weekend, his team was, quote, completely derailed by the direction the event was going, and they should have stopped it immediately. Okay, new story. Shannon, do you believe what Floyd is saying?
No, I don't, Floyd. I'm sorry. I think a situation, Skip, even though the Manny Pacquiao fight, many believe, I think all of us believe, most of us, 95% believe that fight happened 4, 5, 6 years later than what it should. But even though when it was scheduled, there was a buzz. Okay, the Conor McGregor is not a professional boxer, he's in MMA. But when that fight was, they started talking about it, the buzz.
Bigger buzz than Pacquiao.
When they talked about this right here, that's like, man, this dude fighting an Uber driver. He fighting June Tao from Rush Hour.
It was just Z's.
Yeah,
sleep.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
They're like, nah. And once he saw that, he's like, nah, I'm getting up out of this. Come on, Floyd. I mean, that shouldn't even been beneath you. Even for an exhibition. That'd be like me, so you know what? I'm gonna go out there and play flag football. Really, Floyd? You made $500 million. And you gonna talk about you gonna fight this dude, and you thought it was like a promotional thing, 3 rounds. Well, everybody go, even if you thought it was gonna be a 3-round exhibition, if you fought him, it was gonna be a 12-round exhibition. Man, Floyd, you need to stop. Floyd, take your money, bro. You made $1 billion. Even with taxes.
I hope he still has $1 billion.
No, I know he ain't got it. But after taxes, that's $500 million. So even if you buy, look, get rid of them jets, just buy timeshares. Okay? You got like 15 cars, cut it down to 5.
Maybe sell a few. I agree.
Yeah. And then and let your boy get one of them Hermes bags.
So I can't forget what Conor used to say before the Floyd fight. He's ridiculing him. He's got little legs, a little head. Look how little this guy is.
Yes.
This guy, Floyd dwarfs this guy.
Floyd's what, 5'6", 5'7", tops. And look at Floyd.
Yeah. What did he call him? He's an Uber driver,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Yes.
He's an Uber driver.
Yes.
Floyd was going to fight an Uber driver. And I believe the internet shamed Floyd into coming to his senses. That's what happened.
Yeah.
He finally said, wait a second. They're saying I'm going to sell my soul and all of my credibility for this, to steal money fighting an Uber driver?
Right.
Really? That's what he's doing. Does he really need the money? I hope not. I hope he doesn't.
If it's going to be an exhibition, you shouldn't. I mean, it's going to be some wealthy Japanese guys that want to, see you fight this guy right here. Okay, keep it under wraps. I mean, what you going to promote it? You going to hope to like sell it or put it on pay-per-view or something? I mean, where you going with this?
Like go underground with
Yeah.
it? Go Fight Club? Go.
Man, Floyd, I can't.
So do you want to see Floyd Mayweather Jr. at 50-0 go Bernard Hopkins and fight into his 50s? Bernard was still fighting at 51.
And it took him to get knocked out of the ring out the ring. The dude knocked him out the ring, Jen, and that's when it because
B-Hop. He lost his last 2 fights.
Yeah.
Do you want to see that?
Knocked out of the ring, and I was glad he got beat the way he did, because if it would have been close, if it went to the judge's scorecard, he'd have came back for some more. But since the guy knocked him out of the ring, he's like, I'm done with this. Is that what it's going to take for Floyd?
I don't know. Why can't you just rest on your 50-0 laurels? Because you did it,
There are
man.
very few guys. I mean, Marciano walked away. Marvin Hagler, Skip, he lost to Sugar Ray. I thought Marvin Hagler still had something, but he said, I'm done. He moved to Italy. I think he went overseas, and he's never been heard from again. I guess it's hard. The allure is just so great. You're used to walking through in the crowd. But Floyd.
I don't want to see Floyd fight Manny again. I don't want to see him fight Conor again.
Wow.
It was great while it lasted.
Anybody.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see him box an Uber driver. I just don't. In Japan or in Timbuktu. I don't care where it is.
No, I look, I've supported him. Every fight he's had, Skip, I watched it. I even bought the Berto fight against my better judgment. And it was basically he was fighting the beef jerky, Berto. That one. Because that's what it was, Skip Bayless.
Stealing
got
money.
my money. I contributed to that $1 billion. I contributed a lot of it. Actually, I went to see him fight De La Hoya in person. But come on, Floyd. This should be beneath you.
He's got his club and
Vegas,
right?
Dog collection.
Yeah, dog collection. Just roll with that.
Might go in there and find me a wife.
Really?
Yeah.
You?
That took a different turn.
You never know where a good woman can be found.
I don't know. I could bet against that one.
That took a different turn. Didn't know we were going there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
right.
you know what? Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop with this, Jenny. Y'all need to stop that judging.
I'm not
Y'all
judging.
Yeah,
I
you
said
did.
nothing.
Yes, you did. You
I
look
said
like-
this took a different turn.
And Skip gonna talk about how doctor you never know.
We just looked quickly at each other
Be
and
careful how you judge people, Skip. Yeah.
no more judgment. from this side of the
Sometime
table.
a poor coat can cover a rich heart. That's what they say.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah, think about that, Skip.
Thursday Night Football is back tonight. We've got the Panthers, we've got the Steelers, and these two make their picks next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. The Steelers host Panthers tonight on Fox. Both teams are red hot, with Pittsburgh winning 4 straight, Carolina winning 3 in a row. And during that streak, Cam Newton has 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Shannon, who wins tonight?
I know the Panthers are playing well. They're coming in white hot. Cam has been unbelievable. As good a stretch as I've seen him play in a very, very long time. But I'm going to take the Steelers at home. James Conner has made them really stop talking about Le'Veon and basically Mike Tomlin and the team says when he get back, we'll talk about him. We'll try to work him back in, but James Conner is playing unbelievable. I think the biggest thing is the reason why they're having success. The Steelers, Skip, is their defense. Now all of a sudden, they're giving up 18 points a game. And so I'm going to take them in a close game at home. I say they win by 6. I'm going to go, I'll say they win 27-20, 7 points.
7-20.
I'm going to go with the visiting team.
Okay.
I do love the way Cam is playing, and I think he lights up for the brightest lights, and these are pretty bright Thursday night lights, and they have won 3 in a row. They've won 5 of 6. They did win at Philly. I'll give them that. And again, their defense is just pretty good, and their offense has been pretty good, but I think the combination of that and Cam rising and shining, I think it'll be fairly high scoring, but I'll go 27-24 Cam Newton's team.
Look at that, Skip.
Yep. That's what you will be wearing when you watch this game.
Yep, my LeBron.
What?
Yep.
Those are you just exposed your whole foot on.
I know.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, those are LeBron's. Did you put that on there or you bought those?
No, those are criminal gift. I mean, a birthday gift. But my good friend Skip Bayless.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate that.
Somehow I don't believe
I
that
appreciate
that's what
that.
he gave you
Appreciate
for your
that.
birthday.
The old LeBron James, they things so comfortable, Skip.
Did you put those on there, the faces on there, or you bought them that way?
Oh, they're LeBron specials.
I think we've had enough
I think
of
I'm gonna
this
start
guy
selling
today,
them.
Skip.
I think I'm gonna start selling them.
No,
You know what?
that
The
is
Henny
it for us.
Hen kicked in.
Too much.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.